Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Stratholme. No, I got the Mount circa Wrath, I believe it was Wrath. Or J. Palmer.
Interest you on a pint?
Men as far as Kultiras spoke of the legendary Ezra Grimm's premium tobacco. It was a delicacy enjoyed by every single person of importance that visited Stratholme. King Tyrannus, Uther the Lightbringer, High Lord Fordring. Uther smoked? Or chewed? Sadly, Ezra stayed in his shop when Stratholme was invaded, swearing on his life that the scourge would never touch his tobacco. See if you can find it. It's worth its weight in gold, I assure you.
Be good.
Okay. Mr. Ed, you just... Okay. With the fall of the Scarlet Crusade, their disguised demon leader, Balnazar, released the possessed body of Grand Crusader Dathrahan and went on a rampage, killing every single crusader here. He then used his necromantic power to raise them as undead slaves. He refers to his new army as the Risen. We cannot allow him to grow this army. They are extremely powerful, and unlike Arthas' Scourge, he will not hold his forces back. Right. Inside the Scarlet Bastion is a painting of great personal value to High Lord Tyrion Fordring. Search for a painting of our twin moons. Chip away at the paint until you discover the work. Okay. Where Market Row meets Festival Lane, you'll encounter the Unforgiven. If you go in towards the Crusader Square, you will coax Timmy the Cruel out. Both of these former champions committed heinous acts against innocents in the name of gaining unholy power. Yeah, it sounds like Timmy to me.
Talk to me.
Look, I'm not about to play games with you. The Scarlet Crusade's Crimson Hammersmith was nothing worth mentioning. But now that he's risen, the damned Dreadlord taught him all sorts of powerful demonic weaponry. It's simple. Find their plans and kill the Hammersmith. Okay.
Off with you.
I can do that. Yeah, I love how you walk in and just right there is a bunch of undead. So hang on. So there's Timmy, Little Timmy, and Timmy the Cruel. Whoop. I. Just rolled right into us there. Whether any of these people are the same person or not is a little bit debatable. Tim Campbell is actually the source of that, believe it or not. Okay, let's see how we do. First off on our whirlwind tour of doing dungeons. Without Mr. Ed, because he refuses to group with us, as is his wont. Stratholme. So obviously we're doing the live side first, which is why we're fighting a whole bunch of undead here. Up. Come on. Grab that while we're here. The initial trash is probably some of the trashiest trash we ever saw in a vanilla dungeon. It really is just a whole lot of the dead. Just lots and lots and lots of things. Most of these guys have nothing special about them in terms of stats or abilities or whatever. They're just, hi. Also, I cannot seem to pull aggro off of my healer to save my life. Which is strange because we're the same faction, so we shouldn't be having that issue. I'm gonna laugh if it's specifically a druid problem. Because last time it was on a druid as well, remember? Zadish. Two people come out with me really quick, please. I want to test something. Yes, yesterday was a good stream. At least I'd like to think it was. With 5 people show up. But hopefully those 5 people were entertained. Yeah, well, I'm just going to test something really quick here, because I really should not be losing aggro on enemies I have, dots up on to my healer, and be essentially unable to get it back. Good news is I have another tank, who is Alliance, who is at the correct level range, who is not a druid.
Punches, lucky doos and loot. May your feet
Good morning, Spartan. I am going to need a summons, by the way, if I wasn't obvious about that. We are doing dungeons, Spartan. At the moment, we're doing a very specific tech test on said dungeons. Thank you.
What's on your
I love
mind?
how no matter which side you go in, you're always in on the right side.
You got my attention.
Back, just
Watch
in
your
case.
back.
Okay, let's see how this works out, shall we? I'm starting to think it's a druid thing. You notice I have no problems holding aggro here at all. Well, that's good to know. Note to self. Stop trying to tank on a druid. Just until they fix that. Oh, hey, some tobacco. Ah! Bleeds alone should absolutely be enough. I should know. I lean on them on a warrior as well, because I've got the deep wounds build set up. Oh, oh, oh. Hang on, we aggroed an innocent civilian who is being a dick. Yeah, that's true. It's just like vanilla. Druid tanking is borked. Dead. Anyways, Druids just can't hold aggro. That's all it really is. We saw this all the way back in Draktherin Keep, back when we were doing Wrath. I was on a tank, and even if I spent 10 seconds generating aggro on something, the moment I got healed, it pulled aggro off me. Now, the presumption was that that was a cross-faction thing. Which is why I've been insisting ever since, and this has been our policy ever since Wrath, to make sure that our tanks and healers are always the same faction. Oh. Here. Apparently it might just be a druid tank thing. Because, yeah. Draenei and... You know, we're both like... We're the only alliance here. So... Cool. I'm going to have to think about getting another character up to 67. I'm trying to think of who I would do that with. Well, the presumption of the faction thing... It's Maverick. Was that... It was because, remember, cross-faction dungeoning is actually really recent. And that they screwed up something. Because of how spaghetti it is. I wonder if druids are having trouble at endgame, too. Or if it's just a scaling/time walking thing. Anyway, sorry. Hi, Nerazaz. Welcome to Stratholme. Oh no! I'm very surprised by what just happened. You know, the real way to test this would be to get on a horde tank that is not a druid, and then tank with Pillars of Snow healing. See how that feels. No, Stratholme was updated for Kata. You are seeing the Kata version right now. That's it. Yep, it's still a ruin. Rebuilding's hard. Yeah, the fact that it's been burning in lore for like 7 years or something. You know, logically speaking, in lore, it's probably not still burning, if we're being very honest with ourselves. They just didn't redo it for Kata. Even the Kata changes were relatively minor. So. See that? Instantly pulled aggro off all of those. Off the healer, no less, which is exactly how that should be. Yeah, sorry, I've been a career tank for like 20-something years now. I can tell immediately when something's wrong with my aggro. I may not know the specifics of what, but I can tell something's wrong with my aggro. Anyways, so what I'm thinking is, if we're being honest, what probably happened was Stratholme, you know, was minorly updated for, you know, Kata. Because most of this is still basically the same general dungeon it was back in vanilla. And then, you know, that's it. Like, after that, the place got reclaimed as the Eastern Plaguelands got reclaimed, and they just haven't been back to it. Ironically, probably the time at which we'll most likely see any follow-through on this is during Midnight, with their Elven Lands revamp, because Stratholme is quite literally on the border of Quel'Thalas. Even in Warcraft 3. Hell, even in Warcraft 2, that's true. Remember, Stratholme was their key oil production facility. Yeah, in vanilla, it burning for 4 years, that I don't have any excuse for, honestly. Like, sure, it's just been burning for 4 years, or whatever. Yeah, it was a Warcraft 2 thing. One of the Orcish missions, one of the Demonic Horde missions, is to go shut down the major oil production for the Alliance in preparation for the assault on Quel'Thalas, which is Stratholme. God, I hate these stupid
Interrupt.
okay. Anyone get the toy? Looks like Maverick did. Congrats. Oh, where's the eye? Where's the eye? That was too slow. I like how we're getting Argent rep in here. Yeah, I already have the toy too. So, you know, Valerian almost assuredly does not have that toy. I don't know if Pillars of Snow does. So it's between those two. I suggest fighting to the death over it, which you can actually do in this game. You just slash duel. I just realized Maverick is probably not listening to me. There's Timmy. Is it a South Park reference? Is it a reference to Tim Campbell? You be the judge. You'll notice almost all of these bosses are very vanilla bosses, by the way. Let's see, what's his mechanic? Well, he hits hard. Occasionally he enrages, which makes him hit harder. Okay. The upcoming boss we're going to fight has cannons, which will shoot us periodically. After that is a guy who does fire damage. So the kid from Warcraft 3 is definitively a reference to Tim Campbell. We know that with pretty total certainty at this point. 1 second. Oh, I can't. Bragwin died. Not even sure what to. God, that range is crazy. Oh, hello. This is apparently the stuff that aggroed Bragwin. Anyways, point being that we know that the one reference was to the level designer. It's more likely that this guy who just straight up says, Timmy, is probably a South Park reference. We have not yet done Stockades. Stockades is a dungeon that got a more substantial overhaul in Cata. So unlike this dungeon, which is barely different, Stockades will be substantially different. I would also like to do Scholomance while we're out here. Scholomance is actually a Pandaria dungeon. It will be completely different. Stop disarming me. These enemies very much are disarming. I'm sorry. Ahem. Oh, no, you don't. Look. Yeah, pretty much, J. Palmer. Stockades needed the overhaul. I've actually wondered several times if that was some of the logic that behind how much effort they put into revamping things. Because if you think about it, Ragefire and Stockades both got pretty substantial overhauls in Cata. But, like, again, Stratholme, the dungeon we're in, barely different. The appearance of these guys is different. They're called Risen, because they're undead now, instead of living. And some of the bosses look a little bit different. Some of the stories a little bit different. But otherwise, this is just Stratholme again, right? After all, why mess with it? Stratholme already exists. The problem with that theory is Scholomance, which is completely overhauled despite having been a fairly well fleshed out and in-depth dungeon. So, I don't know. Yeah, I know, J. Palmer. And you know how I know that? Because I just said that 2 minutes ago. What's with this music all of a sudden? No, okay, so to repeat myself, even though Scholomance was done a Pandaria dungeon and thus completely overhauled, I'd still like to do it next while we're out here. Notice a lot of the bosses don't even have lines of dialogue anymore, which is actually a nice touch, as weird as that sounds. So, these are Risen. And there's some debate about this, but based on how this is lined up, these are probably Type 1 Undead. These are golems. Nothing fancy, nothing special. Just, you know, the corpses of the Scarlets risen back up in order to continue serving. That's it. And here's the funny part. Why would Balthazar even bother? Like, he already had a whole bunch of loyal minions who were zealous to the light. Like, they're arguably less effective when they're dead. So, why kill them all? Eco. You know, actually, I could buy that. Oh, I agree, Asmiristar. I have theorized for years that they wanted to redo those dungeons in Kata, and, you know, didn't because of time and budget. Remember, Kata was a horrifically huge production cycle. Tons and tons and tons of work to do. Much as I keep making fun of zones that are barely different from their vanilla counterparts, the truth is it makes sense that they would focus their energy on just a few zones, because, God, that would take forever, right? Keep in mind, they still had the Kata endgame zones to do, and dungeons and raids. Yeah, exactly, as we're going to start. And yeah, Black Fathom Deeps might be the same thing, even though that is a Warlord's dungeon. I don't have that talent at this level. I don't. Can I get that talent at this level? Actually, I can. I'm going to grab that talent. Keeps throwing me not having it. Oh, hey, Bregman's back. Hi, Bregman. Just gonna stay out of combat for a few more seconds. 2 seconds. I had to stay out of combat for 2 seconds. Didn't manage it. Not again. Okay. Fly chicken. So let's see how much we have to pay attention to this fight's mechanics, shall we? Back in the day, you absolutely had to. There was no way. But that was vanilla. So the mechanic here, the sole mechanic, is you can pick up those piles of ammo, put them in a cannon, and kill the ads. I think so, actually, Five. You can skip pretty much everything else. Ah. Well, that hurt a bit, but we managed it. Sweet blacksmithing plans. I love blacksmithing plans. Oh, yeah, look. There's more blacksmithing plans. Oh, God. All right, let's wrap this up, shall we? How do you smelt flesh? That's a really good question, but I'm not sure I want the answer to. So further in, the trash goes up a level. We start to have battle mages, which are exactly what they sound like, higher level priests, and higher level arms warriors. I'm not sure if we'll notice any difference because all of their stats are the same. But again, back in the day, these last few pulls kind of sucked. Yeah, they still hurt a bit. I'm pretty sure they don't notice her. Yeah, I know. There's the quest at Tyr's hands where they're like, we're totally dead and we don't care. But then, like, of all these guys, none of them say anything. Oh, shoot. At all. And I'm dead. Well, that's good to know.
How are you? Off with you.
We've discovered the Snuff of Legends.
Watch your back.
Get it?
Here there. Be good.
No, I'm happy. We died. I actually figured that, but let us know. Was wondering if you could handle it without a tank. And then it turned out I couldn't handle a pack without a healer. Yeah, that's been something they've been kicking around for a while now, Spartan. Not that I'm aware of, J. Palmer. Back in Vanilla, and arguably Wrath, when they were still, like, you know, actually caring about the undead, as far as the storytelling mechanic, they kept insisting that the undead were weak to holy damage, even though by their own mythos that made no sense. And, you know, now they just don't talk about the undead any. Matrix Online. Good God. What a nothing game. That was its biggest sin. There was nothing there. There was nothing to do. There's no stories, no quests. Questing wasn't really a thing back then. Not like it is nowadays. Oh, sorry, right. I blame that wipe on Valerian. I mean, the light has nothing to do with the undead. That's kind of the problem, J. Palmer. There's no connecting line there. So there's no reason for... there's no reason for... being undead to have any interaction with the holy light. As a further addendum on top of that, we literally have plenty of holy priests who are undead. If you want names, Alonza's Foul comes to mind immediately, as well as Kalia Menethil. How did Spinning Crane Kick hit the boss in the other room? But yeah, this isn't Forgotten Realms. This isn't D&D. For those of you not aware, in Forgotten Realms, being undead specifically means you are channeling a negative energy plane. The negative energy plane, so negative energy. It's actually kind of a funny little tidbit, because some writers tend to forget that, too, and treat, you know, vampires and liches and all that as normal people. But they're not. You know, an undead in Forgotten Realms literally does not have the ability to be positive. It's against their very nature. I didn't pick up that quest. Alright, whatever. Doesn't matter. Boss time. Doesn't even have voice acting. It's fine. Major villain of Warcraft 3. It doesn't matter. It's fine. It's fine. Could have gone back and changed it in Kata. It's fine. It's fine. I am sad we didn't wipe properly, though. Oh well. Fine. Find our way back out. I did always like this too, but this is true in vanilla too. After you fought your way in, because you've taken out all of the defenders, the undead are now swarming in here. That's a little touch. So what is negative energy? Ironically, it's more or less exactly what it sounds like. Being unhappy, or angry, or miserable, negative emotions. Pain. You know, stuff like that. That's negative energy. Positive energy is then, of course, the exact opposite. And that's a planar thing in D&D. So, you know, kind of one of the fundamentals. It is quite literally canon that, for example, a vampire can never be happy, right? Like, they're physically incapable of feeling the emotion. Hello, Act. Alright. I'm gonna test something because I'm just curious while we're here. Stupid rats. I wonder if I should let Galota go and let her start leveling. I'll have to chew on that. Didn't I already... Yes, the gameplay has crawled its way up to net positive. First WoW expansion to have a net positive gameplay. Which makes sense that it would be Kata. Looks like we can go over. Yeah, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. An RPG just got a net positive from questing on gameplay. You know what? This is silly. I'm gonna really laugh if they ever do actually backport follower dungeons, because that's gonna be a lot of negatives removed. Like a lot. There are not a small number of dungeons in this game. Hey Ross. I'm very sad. The Chiefs won. Of course they did. I think WoW will already surpass StarCraft 2, even with the abandonment problem. Of course it will. It's an MMO. FF14 surpassed StarCraft 2. But come on. Of course WoW's gonna crush. WoW is like 10 games combined, right? Alright, so let's see here. The Scourge have some sort of ward in place that's preventing me from opening a portal so our reinforcements can help us take the city. That's like a never-ending scream inside my head. I'm doing all I can to retain my sanity from that noise with this barrier. My best guess is the Banshees are maintaining their defenses. If you can bring me some of their essences, I can counteract the ward and get our boys in there.
Safe travels.
How are you?
The Scourge are adept at forging powerful armaments for our soldiers, making it difficult for our men to kill them. There are blacksmithing plans near the Baroness that use their chief swordsman's plans to use... What? That their chief swordsman plans to use for an extremely powerful weapon for Lord Arius. We're going to prevent the weapons from being made and stop the regular arms with one blow.
Off with you.
Okay. This chapel is the last light amongst so much darkness. Ras Frostwhisper, who's not even here anymore, took his own life in the slaughterhouse, carving his face into a macabre smile in front of the second Lich King, who raised him into the Lich that now haunts Scholomance, except he's not there anymore. The ground where the atrocity occurred is now Scourge, holy ground, blessed by the Lich King with the very darkest of magic. Lord Arius, newest ruler of Stratholme, now guards it.
You need something?
Deep within, you'll find Rammstein the Gorger. He was the guy who actually killed Nathanos.
Be careful.
I'm dead serious. Oh yeah, this is where the Order of the Silver Hand was founded, by the way. So what's up, Ross? What's funny? Alright. Yeah, Nathanos... Screw Nathanos. And that's my actual statement on him. He was never an interesting character. I'm not sure if he qualifies as Mary Sue status. That's something we will debate during this particular run. Oh, shoot. I wasn't ready to get rooted. Okay. That is unpleasant. Oh, Jesus, Ross. Yeah, no, I do find that quite funny. We didn't even move the mana, the healer mana. I did have to blow most of my cooldowns, though. I guess that's something. Okay, start the clock. God. I mean, Nathanos is a complete asshole, that's true. And that's more or less the problem, isn't it? He is a fairly well-presented, well-voice-acted asshole. The biggest thing I dislike about Nathanos by memory is actually his last appearance, ironically. The idea that Nathanos could have ever put up a fight against empowered Tyrande is a joke. The fact that she kill-stole us is also frustrating. So that's like 2 negatives to that one scene. I mean, who else would Sylvanas fall in love with other than a complete asshole? I mean, think about it. Yeah, we jobbed for Tyrande, which is just even more frustrating. My inventory is full. I just... okay, I can't fix that right now. Not really. See, that's an interesting question, Riker Spirit. Probably not, in all honesty. But we will gauge that as we're going through this time around. I can't tell if you're trolling with that sentence, Lord Harriman. I'm going to assume you are. In which case, yes! Alright, let's see how we do with this. That does sound like Shadowlands, Mr. Red. You know, it just occurred to me, we might not actually see Nathanos' death on camera. Wasn't that part of the Shadowlands launch event? Yeah. There is a very minor reference to him afterwards when Tyrande confronts Sylvanas and flat out asks, you know, where's your boy toy? And Sylvanas is temporarily thrown by that because she wasn't even aware that Nathanos had died. It's actually the first hint that Sylvanas gets that, now, try to hear me out, but the guy who's known for being incredibly evil and cruel and uses domination magic might not be on the up and up. I know that's shocking. Alright, who's gonna get mind control?
Target change.
It's Valerian! Kill, don't actually kill Valerian. Don't actually kill Valerian. Okay, we're good. Oh, by the way, similar to the other mind control mechanic we've actually already seen, the mind control AI prioritizes all of your biggest cooldowns first. So like if it mind controls me, the first thing it's going to do is pop shield wall, for example. I was just thinking about the War of Thorns. Just kind of a major event. Oh yeah, speaking of which, I started doing some digging on which of the vignettes are in-game. Near as I can tell, both Pandaria's and Warlords' are not in-game. Which really makes me sad. Because they're both really good, so we can't review them. Legions definitely are, and I can figure out what those are, and BFAs definitely are. Yay. I think Shadowlands are, but near as I can tell, Dragonflights are not. At least I wasn't able to find Dragonflights. I didn't do a deep dive yet. Oh yeah, by the way, fun fact. I haven't even seen Dragonflight's vignettes. If I have no memory of it. See, that's exactly what I'm thinking is Mirror. Because, you know, I haven't made a Drac theory yet. In fact, here, let's pull this list up here again. Yes. Okay, so we have the Burdens of Shaohao, that's Pandaria. Unfortunately, not in the game at all. Lords of War, same problem. Harbingers is an interesting one. Because Harbingers... You see one of them by default just by making a Demon Hunter. But the other ones you see from the one guy in Dalaran. Yeah, there is. Robert Newhirth. And then Warbringers is when it gets a little bit weird. So, Sylvanas' Warbringers plays during a specific quest, which doesn't exist anymore. However, you can talk to Zydormi in Darkshore, and that'll show you Sylvanas'. Jaina's plays during a quest in the Siege of Borealis, so we're going to have to get to the end of the vanilla chain to even be able to access that. Ashara's is visible in Najatar, also in Endgame Zone. But they're in the game, and that's the important part. Then there's Afterlives. That's Shadowlands. Bastions is available after doing a quest in the Kyrian campaign. Maldraxxus is available as soon as you get to Maldraxxus. Ardenweald's is during the Ardenweald story arc. And Revendreth's is something you have to seek out, but you can still find. So all of Afterlives are in the game. Then we get to Legacies, which is Dragonflight. I have no information on Legacies being available in-game at all. I'm not saying it isn't, I'm just saying I know nothing about it. Oh, God. I should mention that I really, really like the vignettes, going all the way back to the Burdens of Shaohao. There is exactly one of them that I think is anything less than top-notch material. And when I say top-notch, I mean like Pixar at their prime levels of cinematography. And for some reason, that's Sylvanas', which is just weirdly bad for no reason. Sure, Fife, but I have no information on that whatsoever, like I just said. I feel like Fife's not listening to me here. So, no information on how to play Legacies, and then there's the War Within. Now, as it happens, I do know where the War Within vignette plays, because I've seen it in-game. It plays after you finish the final raid. And by the final raid, I mean the only raid. So, uncertainty. So, no, apparently, Pandarias and Warlords are not in game. Uncertainty about Dragonflights. Everything else should be fine. Very badly timed bit of lag there. I mean, I'm going to show the vignettes one way or another. But Pandaria and Warlords will not get credit for their vignettes. They're not in-game. That's how that works. Like, I'm weirdly shocked that the Burdens of Shaohao are not in-game. And I am going to show off Warlords, obviously. The good news is the two best vignettes are in-game. Which is Ashara and Gul'dan, if you're wondering. Yeah, no, the Ashara one is a masterclass. No doubt, no question. Just crazy good. I appreciate it, Five. You could see the problem I was running into, too. It's entirely possible Legacies is just tied to the Drakthir, and that's why I was never able to view it. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I can actually sing the shanty in Jaina's one. I'm not going to. I'm far too embarrassed to sing in public. I know it by heart. Anyways, my point is, I like Jaina's one too. I just like the other two better. Anyways, sorry. Who's Arias Rivendare? Isn't this like the paladin guy who's like, please help me? Like, hang on, let me double check that. Didn't this guy have a quest back in vanilla? He was a paladin. Yep. He fled to the Alonza's Foul Chapel. Alright, he was part of the Blood, the Night Chain. I remember that. When adventurers went into Stratholme to defeat his father, he asked them to bring a Medallion of Faith to, make him stronger. But, alas, he fell to darkness off camera. Meh. What a loser. Nope, no quests.
Hey there. See you around.
So yeah, Stratholme's a whole big nothing burger. 3 separate times I tried pretty hard to wipe us. And the only time I succeeded was when I literally walked away from the group. I'm gonna be honest, that is so pathetic. I'm gonna leave both negatives for Stratholme. That was too easy. That was way too easy. Let's go hit Scholomance. Let's hit a real dungeon, see how it feels. I am admittedly worried. Because, yeah, Maradon was good. Dire Maul was good. We're losing Bragwin. Mr. Red refuses to join us because he'd rather die. Thank you for joining us, Bragwin. No. I know you love Shadowlands, Mr. Red. I know that's your fondest desire. Oh my God, 9.1. So I need you on someone who is between 35 and 67 who is Cataclysm time walking. What is Padbot 9.1? Well, it's a Shadowlands patch. It's also the only Shadowlands patch. Oh, okay. So I didn't know you wanted to leave Leonard. You could have said something if you hated grouping with me that much. God.
I supply only the finest goods.
Oh yeah, Stratholme has a pet dungeon. I actually forgot about that.
Have a good one.
Yeah, obviously we're doing a little bit of sweeping of essentially vanilla dungeons right now.
Lucky dudes. You like.
Eventually we'll get to some really good stuff. And hopefully this will be even more enjoyable. And by eventually I mean in the next expansion. Pandaria is when they really start to ramp up the dungeon design. Don't mind me. Everything's fine. Which raid, Magister? Okay, I don't need this anymore because I got better. I don't need this anymore. What was the 9.1 raid? You can tell I know Shadowlands like the back of my heart here.
May your feet find good trails.
Sanctum of Domination. Who was in that dungeon? Raid. Kel'Thuzad. Okay, okay. About 5 more seconds, Blade-Javal. The only reason I'm still here is because I'm sorting my inventory out. So, funny story. I've never finished that raid. In fact, I have only, as recently as a few weeks ago, gone back and defeated the Sylvanas fight. And only the Sylvanas fight. So I've never even seen the other fights in that raid. No, seriously. When I say that I checked out of Shadowlands, I am not joking. Alright, where's Spartan? There he is. Oh, Spartan's on a level 11. Join us, Spartan. Like, I'm really not joking. I checked out of Shadowlands so hard. It was just... It was awful. Okay, apparently the music's still playing here for some reason. Whatever, where's Mr. Red? I mean, the review system is designed to be as fair as possible. But the problem also is, if there's something that ends up staining other elements of gameplay or story, then it also gets essentially an additional negative for that. Or to explain this a little bit differently, Sylvanas will get pluses to story in Shadowlands, and everyone's going to riot about that. But I don't care because it's going to happen. But she will also then get negatives because of how much it's ruined right alongside it. Something that is good and bad can exist in this review system. That's much of the point of this review system. Oh, hello. Sorry, I'm thinking. Where's Stratholme? You should buy crypto, because crypto is the dumbest possible thing you could ever buy. Seriously, I would actually struggle to think of something stupider to spend money on than cryptocurrency. That is not a joke. NFTs and crypto are functionally the same thing. Most NFT trades are done in crypto. Let me reveal to you a little bit of a reality of how life works, okay? If there is a cryptocurrency you're ever thinking about investing in, the sheer fact that you have reached the point in time at which you are aware of that cryptocurrency to invest in it means it is already too late for you to properly do so. Spartan, are you Cataclysm time walking? Crypto is straight up a pyramid scheme. Textbook 101. It is designed for people to get into the business, do what they have to do with it, convince other people to buy into it, profit from it, and then more or less push those people to get other people to buy into it so they can get their money back, who then push other people to get into it so they can get their money back. And eventually, pretty much everyone except for the initial group has lost money. For nothing, it's worth noting. Like, literally for nothing. Nothing has been produced. Nothing has been added to the substance of the economy. All that's happened is a number has gone up. We have started calling 5 apples 12 apples. Oh, Jesus, Mr. Red. Oh yeah, that's ignoring the fact. Sorry, that's actually true. Sorry. What we went from a box of 4 apples, which we called 4 apples, to a box of 3 apples because we had to use one of the apples, and now we're calling it 12 apples. Oh my god. Ah. Let me pull up my Pandaria list while we're here. Because we're almost assuredly going to be giving the upcoming dungeons some positives. Here we go. Pandaria. Spartan's holding us hostage at this point. He knows. He knows. I swear this is the last time we're going to hear this song. Like, ever, I think. Because this only plays in 3 zones in the game, and we're not going back to those zones. Fellwood. We already did that, don't worry. Oh, God. Echoey. Bwah, bwah. Bwah, bwah. Bwah, bwah. Bwah, 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 bwah. West Plagues, East Plagues, and Fellwood are the 3 zones. Only parts of West Plagues, but as you can see, we are currently in West Plagues right now. And that's the song. Hey, there we go. Okay, okay. Yes, this is what happens when you get hit by Mind Flay. Bwah, bwah, no, bwah. Scholomance. The Scholomance. Alright. Please be a good dungeon. I and my family fell victim to this place what seems like ages ago. Let our fate serve as warning to those who would meddle in necromancy. Help me lift the curse, warrior. Destroy Dark Master Gandling. There are 4 tomes of great necromantic evil in the Scholomance. In Shadows of Light, Kel'Thuzad's Deep Knowledge, Forbidden Rites, and Other Ritual Necromantic, and the Dark Grimoire. As we make our way through this cursed place, find and destroy each book so that no other fool can come along and learn their vile secrets. The key to lifting this curse is the final death of Dark Master Gandling. So back in the day, you could just jump over the edge here. But you can't anymore. Invisible walls. Plus to gameplay, invisible walls. So I'm going to do the dumb thing in the next room, and I'm kind of hoping we'll wipe from it, but I'm giving you a bit of a warning on that.
Class is now in session. Class dismissed.
So if you ever want to not wipe the trash in here, just pull her. She immediately kills the trash herself. So this is a cool fight idea. There's an advancing wave of ice that gets closer every few seconds. So that's kind of your soft enraged timer there, right? I'm taking some damage. This is good. This is good.
I can never die.
Then you have to kill her phylactery, which just starts doing completely uncontrolled damage all around. And some just random books doing damage all over the place. It's a fun fight.
This cannot be!
The book actually spawns randomly around here. So for right now, it's over here. Burn, burn, burn. Don't worry, it shares! That's right! Interacting with a quest item actually freaking shares in group. Because this is a Pandaria quest, boy! Okay, now to be really dumb. Hey, Yura. Welcome back. I was to say, imagine having to do a dungeon 5 times just to be able to get all the quests done. Oh, wait. Well, yes, I did quest in Vanilla. Thank you for asking. Okay, 2 deaths. Good, good. But it looks like... God, your mana is not budging. But I died! Yes! Yes! Good showing, though. Okay, I feel better. Sorry, after Stratholme, I was just... Man. What I just did, one person could do by themselves on old time walking. I'm just saying. Did I enjoy Arathi? No, but thank you for asking. God, we killed so much of the room. Unfortunately, I don't think old Scholomance is still in the game. Unlike old Stratholme. Oh yeah, no, they've done a lot more doodad work in visual design. Speaking of which... Wait, old Scholomance is in the game? How? Huh. I did not know that. No, I'm not running it. I think you're right, Spartan. Unfortunately, I cannot use Pillars of Snow's mana usage as an indicator. Because, like, Paladin's mana is just not moving at all. One moment, please. Something up. Yeah, exactly. Pillars of Snow. Usually I kind of gauge how much healing output a healer's doing by their mana, and you're just sitting there at 99%, and I'm like, am I just taking that little damage? It's okay, Valerian. Oh, sorry. Okay, so.
Oh, it takes some real stones to
I'm gonna
jump.
deliberately try to get someone killed here.
Well,
Not sure who.
show me what you've got.
Shockwave.
Nah, that's not gonna do jack. That didn't do jack. Pathetic. Pathetic.
Try your luck.
At least we got to do a frickin' mechanic. Although it doesn't really do anything outside of heroic. Let me tell you though, the achievement for that one's fun.
Shockwave.
The achievement is to only ever hit the real Jandis during the Whirl of Illusion. Which means you have to go through and actually find the right one, rather than just, kill them all, which is what they're doing. I used to be quite good at it.
Shockwave.
How'd you do it? Just pay attention. She has a specific type of glove, a specific color of outfit, a specific type of weapon, etc., etc.
Death hurts. Unreal.
I love how tight this dungeon is. We're already up to the next boss.
My dear, it appears we have visitors. Friends of yours, Voss?
You there! Make yourselves useful and deal with these summoners.
Hi, Lillian.
Their deaths only serve to empower my summoners further. Behold!
You feed their souls to their brethren? You are sick.
No, Mr. Red. Especially since I don't have it unlocked.
What's the
And I don't care.
boss? Getting tired?
I'll never stop hunting your kind, Necromancer. Never!
Yeah, I'm almost positive that's Nathanos' actor.
Isn't it beautiful? The weaving of flesh and bone and soul.
We'll see if you revel so much in death once I've ripped out your throat.
You too are beautiful, Voss. Have you looked in a mirror recently?
He's such an asshole.
Pay for your tongue.
My dear, you should embrace this gift that has been bestowed upon you.
I will not let you curse another soul with this nightmare. Run, Necromancer. Your life ends once I catch my breath.
Come, Voss. Your fate awaits you.
Can I just say this is a brilliant way to do a cutscene, by the way? Thank you, Mr. Red. The cutscene literally plays while you're clearing the trash.
Get bone.
And as you kill each major trash mob, it plays another sequence of the cutscene. Come on, kill somebody. About half health. That's pretty decent, I guess.
Stack high. Stack high.
Yeah, I know.
Stack high.
Yeah, I know. I'm kind of deliberately standing in it because I want to see how bad it hurts.
Stack high.
Come on, kill me. Come on, I want you to do it. I want you to do it. Kill me.
Stack.
Come on, you're up to 10 stacks. Come on!
Stack high. Stack high.
Damn it.
Stack high.
Getting up to 13 stacks here.
Stack high.
14 stacks. Ah, damn it. So close. So close. Alas. He has a stacking buff. it makes him move slower, and he stacks it each time he hits you. But each time he... So, it's actually a really cool mechanic. Every stack makes him hit harder and do something. I actually forget what the other thing is. Hang on a sec. Increases damage... so it increases damage, lowers attack speed, and lowers move speed. And it stacks. So the idea is eventually he'll reach a point where you can kite him and then drop your rust stacks. If you don't, he just hits harder and harder and harder and harder. I'm going to pull this entire room, by the way.
The scent of blood, so delicious.
If this is heroic, you'd get an achievement for me doing this. Look, I'm trying very hard to die, okay?
Always pumping, always pumping. Spurts of crimson.
Well, there it goes. Yeah. That would have been the achievement right there if we were on heroic. Scholomance? Yeah, I'd say Scholomance was probably my favorite vanilla dungeon overall. Right over there is where you'd go to fight Rattlegore. The original Rattlegore.
Did you forget, girl? I am the Dark Master. I command the undead.
Please get to phase 2. Please.
Now turn your lovely rune blades on our guests and fetch me their bones.
I can't fight him.
So now we have to fight Lillian.
I can feel her will breaking. Her soul burns so brightly.
By the way, as much as this is kind of a joke, this has got to be really horrific for Lillian.
It is time for your transformation.
End it now, before he can...
Damn, no phase 2.
What?
Die, necromancer!
The bones! You rat!
Leave me to die alone, please.
Yeah, I noticed Maverick is just doing absolutely insane damage this whole sequence. I'm not sure if that's just because Hunter's there, or if Maverick's there, or if it's because he's 35, or any kind of combination there. Yeah, this was actually supposed to be the end of Lillian's character arc right here. It's funny to think about, isn't it? Oh, she is the face of the Forsaken. 100%. Like, some people for the longest time thought of Sylvanas as the face of the Forsaken, and there's a logic to that, considering evil and dumb, but no. Lillian is the face of the Forsaken, 100%. Oh, that's slow. That slow sucks. Ditto, is Miristar. By the way, check it out. you see what happened there? See where we are? Mid-mission checkpoints baked right in. God, I love newer dungeons. They started doing that with Kata, to be completely honest, but Pandaria really started leading into that idea. Like I said, this is a Pandaria dungeon, although I don't know if it was updated post-Pandaria. Whatever. Oh, nice, Pika. I hope you enjoy it. If you have anyone to play it with, it's especially fun co-op. I have no idea, Yura. I have no way of knowing. Oh, absolutely, Esmerista. There's definitely some jigsawing going on. If you remember, we actually showed that off during Scarlet. When I did Old Scarlet. It's like, yeah, this might look familiar, but if you're paying attention, none of these pieces line up right at all. Being honest, I'm still disappointed at how easy this is. But that's because in my mind what I really want is heroic, and this is still acceptable for normal.
If you haven't come to study, I'll use you to teach a lesson.
I gotta keep mentally adjusting down to normal. I give separate negatives for the fact that heroic doesn't exist in the game anymore. Baldur's Gate 3 is a game I've already reviewed, and reviewed quite well, Pika.
School is in session.
Yeah, the new lighting helps a lot. Which makes sense, because they added a new lighting engine in Pandaria. Hello, Huthor. We're just discussing how Stratholme is the worst dungeon ever, because it's vanilla. But maybe it was in Cat. I actually have no idea. At some point, they added a new lighting engine. The only one I know is they changed the thingamabobber in Warlords. What was that? I actually wrote them out in my notes. Oh, well, okay. I guess just animations in general. Hello? Hello? There we go. Yeah, rigging, animations, textures, and meshes. The way all of that was handled, whatever that is called, that was changed in Warlords. You know, I know you're joking, Wreckersbeard, and I don't really harbor that much venom towards vanilla, as I think we've made very, very clear. But I have unironically heard some people say things like, to use a random example, the best Metroid game is Metroid 1 because there would be no Metroid series without Metroid 1. Therefore, it gets all the credit. Allow me to professionally disagree with that. Thank you, Gailota. With the destruction of the tomes, I'll go to my final rest knowing these books will never haunt another living soul. Behold my true form. Yep, Alexei Barov. Remember him? I owe you a debt, one which I can never repay, but I thank you for lifting the curse. Kel'Thuzad, the Lich King, and Darkmaster Gandling are all dead. Maybe I too can find some semblance of peace. And yes, Barov was originally, I want to say, down middle? Like, all of these had bosses. All of these little rooms had bosses. And then, like, once you killed them all, Gandling would spawn. Oh, you got me, Nerozaz. It's true. Alright, let me jot down some thoughts about Scholomance. Still a good dungeon. Still a good dungeon. I mean, for example, I came down pretty hard on Metroid 1 because I think it's a pretty bad game. But at no point in time did you hear me use words like trash or junk or lamentation. Because it's not, right? It was an extraordinarily experimental game being made by devs who had no idea what they were doing, who were inventing game concepts. Like, I'm not going to treat that the same way as something like, say, Wolfenstein Youngblood, which is trash. And apparently the same devs made the recent Indiana Jones game. That's a hell of a turnaround. I'll write down my thoughts en route. Let me check my notes. So, first of all, real quick, thank you for joining me. Let's see, who is that? Mr. Red, Pillars of Snow, Spartan, and Maverick. The next dungeon is Stockades. Now, we might... So, okay. MC? J. Palmer? Oh, bot's down. You know what? Actually, yeah, it's probably fastest here. That's just my first thought was Molten Core. There we go. Stockades and Deadmines are the next two dungeons, one way or the other. So, this should be interesting. I know it, J. Palmer. We did Deadmines, but we did Deadmines before the scaling fix, if you remember, Riker's Beard. Yeah, Vanilla Stockades might actually be the actual worst dungeon ever made. Okay, so, Spartan, do you have an alliance character that is between... Oh, okay. That's... Is that an alliance character? Okay. Never mind. Ignore me. Sorry, so I know you have the outfit on, but when I moused over, it called you an undead. So... Yes, the Vanilla Stockades is just... Why is this even here? Man. Give me a second. Let me finish jotting down my notes really quick, really quick. Actually, yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if Vanilla Stockades was literally, let's make sure instancing works. But also explain why it's right here in the middle of Stormwind. Okay. Stockades. So Stockades, it's the same layout, but this place got a bit of an overhaul.
Hello.
Look, I'd love to give the order and have my men blast these rebels to bits right now, but because I can't, because the entire stockade is under Warden of Thelwater's jurisdiction, and he only wants to contain them rather than murder the prisoners. So rather than disobey orders, we're going to take care of this in a slightly different manner. We've managed to befriend Mortimer Moloch, who happens to be the ruthless rebel leader Randolph's twin. Kill Randolph and switch him so Mortimer can stop the rebellion peacefully.
See you around.
Yeah, ignore the Christmas trees. It's fine. Okay, stockades. Here we go. Abilities for the stockades. Let's do this. He can dual wield, enrage, and thrash, which is a triple strike. This other guy has defensive stance, improved blocking, and shield slam. This other boss has chain lightning. Oh my god. This freaking dungeon. Let's go. Yeah, screw it. Screw it, screw it, screw it, screw it. Screw it, screw it, screw it. Actually, yes. One of the... Whoa, 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 whoa there! One of the first things that happens for a new human player, remember, humans are, statistically speaking, the most likely guy you're going to play as, is you whop in, you go through Elwyn, you have the event with... oh, yeah, all those stuns are great. You have the Hogger event. Oh my god, those stuns! I'm loving it. And then they actually flat out say, hey, go to Stockades to follow through on this. Okay. Yeah, to ignore all the poison stacks. It's fine, it's fine. Mr. Red was, or not Mr. Red, sorry. Maverick is just like, yeah, I'm just going to carry the damage for that fight if that's cool. What was that? Beast Cleave. Yeah, that makes sense. I did come extremely close to dying there. I'm almost sad, because if I died, that probably would have been a wipe. Oh well. So then Mortimer comes in. You can tell it's not a Pandaria dungeon, because nobody's voice acted here. Egad, my sophisticated heart. Mortimer Moloch dies from a heart attack. Okay. Don't mind me, I'm just going to go above the terrain there.
What can I do for you?
Yes, Mortimer just faked his own death. He'll probably take on his brother's name and continue his epic schemes. We'll just deal with that when the time comes.
See you later.
But first...
Need help?
Gailota, I'm afraid I must ask of you the impossible. I received my eye patch because he willed it so. Countless thousands have perished to his wrath. That's actually true. It was only by sheer miracle we were able to imprison him here. Doing so was a grave mistake. We held out as long as we could, but then they came. From the shadows and darkness, gnolls in service of Hogger ripped my best men to pieces. You must defeat the Gnoll King, lest he mounts another attack and slaughters us all in a cold, bloodthirsty rage.
For the Alliance.
You need something?
I'll read that one in
Safe
just a second.
travels.
But first, let's go deal with Hogger. The meme. No, not at all. Played too all. I mean, Lord knows there's still plenty of in Cata. Yep. The jailer was behind Hogger all along. Or vice versa. I'm not sure which, really. So, I've already explained why Hogger was a meme and why they're memeing on him. But it is actually interesting to think about from an in-universe perspective. Considering the relative... Like, I don't know. If Stormwind was better written, I honestly think Hogger could have been a real, actual, local, a regional threat, but still a threat. And they could have done some interesting stuff with him. Stormwind is not well written. So, this is not a true statement. But it could have been. When you fight him, he says, "Forest, just sit back." Yeah, the local problem, exactly. And that could have been kind of cool. And yeah, Stormwind in particular would have, unique reason to actually fear gnolls. Whatever.
Interrupt.
Is there a heroic Stockades? There is not a heroic Stockades. Wow.
Interrupt.
I guess that's as big as we're getting here. They knew a heroic Hogger would be too much. Yeah, by the way, we don't even have to do the other two wings. We can just go straight here.
Light me with
You've performed a deed this day unlike any I've ever seen in my long career. Hogger's death will plague the Riverpaw for years to come, and hopefully put an end to their attacks on our people. Please, great hero, take this reward. Yeah, whatever.
Be careful.
Which BlizzCon was it where they made a Hogger raid, and the raid group that was there couldn't beat it? Oh, what the? Oh, that makes sense. That's just... I'd rather suddenly lose aggro on everything at once, and I'm like, oh god. Oh no. Oh yeah, so this quest. I'm well versed in first aid and other forms of healing, and with the help of my light well, I've been able to nurse the other men back to full health. Problem is, it's so cold and damp, I'm losing them anyways despite healing their wounds. The quake angered the elements that reside in the prison, and when they erupted out of the earth, they slaughtered half the prisoners. Bring me their leader's core so I can use it as kindling. There's this thing called wood. So I just want you to know that there's this thing. Warson Gulch music here. Don't mind me. Bust through defensive spells. Gnoll's Revenge. Increase movement speed by 1000% at all time. God mode. Reduce all damage by 100%. Immune to fear, snare, stuns, and polymorphs. And debuffs. Immune to debuff. What kind of boss is immune to debuffs? Where's Stockades? There it is. Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, I have since done my wrap-up paperwork, Records Beard. You want to hear what the final tally was for Red Ridge? Oop, too far, too far.
Hey there. Have a good one.
Alright, Red Ridge, Red Ridge. So, I'm going to get this out of the way. It was not as bad as Duskwallow Marsh. +1 to brickwork for Lakeshire, for Red Ridge. -6 to all the other crap. And then on the gameplay axis, +4 and +2. That gives us a net overall score for Red Ridge of +1. Now that sounds, you're probably thinking, that's too high. But honestly, an entire zone getting just 1 net positive in Cata is pretty bad. In fact, that puts it as the, hang on, 1, 2, 3, 5th worst zone in Cata. So, I stand by that. Thank you for joining me, everyone, for Dungeons. I'm going to debate something. Yeah. Oh, right. We need to do Deadmines. Right. We need to see Deadmines afterwards. I'm gonna do something weird, really quick. I'm gonna uncap my experience. Now, this would be way too early for lunch. I could easily get Stranglethorn Vale done before lunch break. I mean, the gameplay was still pretty solid, but yeah, no, that's
Have a good one.
That gameplay barely salvaged that zone. Now, if we ignore the story, Red Ridge actually goes up quite a bit. In fact, in pure gameplay, Red Ridge is actually tied for 2nd of the Cata zones. Yeah, no, the gameplay of Red Ridge is legit. It is crushed by the Lost Isles, if you're wondering. Which is the 2nd Goblin Zone. I'm sorry, Lost Isles is still one of the best zones in the entire game so far, actually. Like, it was just crazy good fun and crazy good story access, too. And then one colossal screw-up at the end. Of course you are, Dothor. Alright. Who isn't here? It's like Spartan. Oh, we haven't gotten to the endgame Cata zones. So far, all we've been basically reviewing is the revamp zones, right? All the new world. There's a non-zero chance that all of the endgame Cata zones are going to crush everything else. Like, it probably is telling that despite all of the great stuff we've had, like the South Barrens, or Stone Talon Mountains, or Thousand Needles, or Tiras Fall, or Silver Pine, or Westfall, the zones that are still just absolutely dominating Cata so far are Gilneas and Kazan and the Lost Isles. You know, the completely new zones. Which is yet another reason why it has always irritated me that they didn't just make the Cataclysm Zones a new instance. But
What can I do for you?
I've been down that one before. We're going to find out what's going down out here. Looks like we're going to have to fight our way through the entire Deadmines. Glubtalk, the foreman, will be your first major foe, a powerful ogre magi. Careful, he possesses brute strength and wicked spellcasting.
Go with honor, friend.
Okay. Alright, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get hit by a cannon shell, see how hard it hurts. Not at all. Literally 0 damage. Come on. We never really reviewed Deadmines. The whole point was to show off that one cutscene, which, I remind you, is not actually part of the review. The final boss, the one we will not be seeing this time around. I don't remember revamped Lochmadon all that much, other than the mongrel horde thing.
Show you the power of the arcane. Fists of blade.
So let's see. Upcoming zones that I don't like. Herthia, obviously.
Fists of frost.
I think we'll get a couple of nothing burgers.
Fists of blade.
Like, for example, Swamp of Sorrows, I don't expect much from. We've actually already covered Silithus, right? So, like, Swamp of Sorrows will be whatever. And...
Ready? Let's do it! Arcane power!
I love the Raptor Chain in Stranglethorn. My monk, my original monk, Ironmend, still to this day has that as his permanent pet. Because, duh. He was the first character I did that quest chain on.
Too much power!
Yeah, I'm actually rather proud of that name. Ironmend. It just sounds cool. Nicely done. Clean kill. Now continue on, and I'll see what you can find. We'll crack this case open on your side. I just know it. This is where we almost died. The only time we almost died when we did this on Heroic. We're not going to die here. These monkeys are a joke. Yes, I'm aware, Master, but that character doesn't exist. I think they're literally deleted at this point. I was hoping for a line of sight area. Nope. No such joy. Okay. It's okay, if it makes you feel better, all the lore run characters are deleted except for like Trubanaxa and Cylon. You know, the 2 endgame ones. I thought about deleting them too. I will never play them again. But I couldn't bring myself to delete a max level character. Or at least what was a max level character. That's just making me want to delete them even more. Death to the past! Looks like Helix is in charge of building an enormous mast. You don't think they're trying to finish the Defias Juggernaut, do you? Better go investigate. And don't be afraid to get your hands dirty. You have clearance to use deadly force. Okay.
Mistress will pay me handsomely for your heads.
Who? There's no mistress in this dungeon. We're doing normal mode.
Away!
No! Oh, smash!
Yeah, sorry, we've been murdering a lot of people. My bad. That's on me. That's on me.
Ready, Ophi? Throw!
I hope we won't get too buggy of a Vashir. I was telling this to a friend of mine recently. I'm kind of scared to do Vashir because quite literally every time I've done Vashir it has had bugs. And many of them have been different bugs. As in, I have seen new and exciting bugs every time I've done Vashir.
No! Oh, smash!
I didn't need him. Not when I've got you, Oafs.
To be clear about that, most recent time I did Vashir was last year. I was taking a friend through it. And we once again saw new bugs. Hey, it's Horatio. That was intense. I'm watching your progress on the Stormwind Communicator Spyatron X3 application. Cool. They sure are using a lot of heavily and fortified doors to hide their work. Keep pushing forward, see what you find next. Okay. Yeah, I'm actually sad we lose the intro cinematic. It was voice acted and everything. But at the end of the day, it isn't that necessary, so whatever. And it's better than it being horrifically bugged. My personal favorite Vashir bug I've ever encountered. It was specifically Alliance. And it's like, alright, get on the boat, start heading out there, boat despawns. Now, that sounds like a minor thing. You're probably thinking, why is that your favorite? Let me be very clear about this. Vashir is out here. Stormwind's over here. There's a whole lot of, oh god, what's it called? Fatigue? You know, you're gonna die water in the middle there. And remember, we didn't really have the ability to do anything about that. So, several people were just trying to swim their way to the destination. And dying anyways. It was fatigue, right? I'm using the right word. Because they were so far out, they couldn't make it in time. Hello, hello? Galota? You there? You still alive? Hello? Oh, good, you're there. What in the name of Lordaeron are they building? Some sort of mechanized monstrosity. You have to stop them from completing that thing. Throw out the rules. Do whatever you have to. Here's an interesting question for you. Now that we're in the no longer being stupid and abandoning old, dumb philosophies era of WoW, do you think they'll go and try and make another underwater zone? Merry post-Christmas, that which wants sleep. I hope they do too, but the answer is probably no. If we ever properly do anything with the Naga, we'd better have an underwater zone. And don't give me Najatar. Because Najatar is clearly a reaction to Vashir. Like 100%, right? Oh yeah, no, it's an underwater zone. We scooped out all the water. But, you know. So we could still design an underwater zone. It's just, you know, you fly around through it instead of swim around through it.
Harvesting servers engaged.
Oh.
Safety restrictions offline. Catastrophic system failure imminent. Overdrive
What was
engine
that?
activated.
Oh, which boss was that? Was it this thing? It's been a while, and I've only done that raid once ever.
System failure.
Look, it was BFA. What do you want from me?
Port 2. Shutting down.
You're nearing the heart of their domain. There will likely be an extremely fortified door protecting the inner sanctum. See if you can pry it open. Ding. This thing. Oh, it's literally an eel. Interesting. Well, I was keeping it capped the longest time in case we ever decided to do anything with future heroics, but I think that ship has sailed, and I also think that having someone who isn't a druid who can tank on Alliance is helpful. Since druids are apparently turbo bugged right now. That's true. Never be in the way of the player characters. Like standing in front of a freight train, you know? That's kind of on you at that point. Hey, I remember this from Vanilla. Oh, no! I remembered this from Vanilla. I always like that touch, honestly. Let's see. Where's Deadmines? There it is. I can't believe it. They're almost done rebuilding it. Admiral Ripsnarl, Vanessa's right-hand man, is bound to be on board. We'll never get to her if he's still alive to do anything about it. You're going to need to scale the unfinished Juggernaut, find Ripsnarl, and kill him so we can get back to Vanessa's private quarters on top deck. Careful, the Admiral bears the Worgen curse and would take much pleasure in digging his claws into you.
Now you're making me angry.
I think the point there, Magister, is that obviously the ship would be just left, you know, unfinished and you know, falling apart from just sitting here for like 5 years. So they're fixing it back up, getting it seaworthy again. That is hysterical, Dakota. They don't seem to be doing that super hot on non-heroic. There's the Squall Shapers. They even have, like, the hot here? Yeah, they're not casting any heals at all, so maybe they literally don't have it. Huh. Oh well. I don't know how feasible this would be in something like WoW, but they could have pulled an STO approach to it. STO doesn't have true 3D space, not really. Instead, it has kind of like 2D, 3D-ish space. Basically, you can only go so far up, you can only go so far down, and it's mostly 2DE, but you can still go up and down, if that makes any kind of sense. Like, think of it like a disc rather than a sphere.
Fresh meat!
Oh god, it's the Butcher. Guild Wars 2 was actually fascinating about underwater combat. And then they walked away from that forever. I think I still don't have good underwater weapons on most of my characters, because why bother?
Do you feel that chill running up your spine? The fog is rolling in.
Oh yeah, sorry. Sound warning.
I can smell your fear.
Dude, I'm not afraid of you. Do about 10 times the damage you're doing and we'll talk. But that sounds like an exaggeration. Remember, he's hitting me for about 20 through my block. So if he's hitting for about 200, maybe.
I will rip your heart from your chest!
I don't know, Huthor. That does sound like a really good idea. I mean, think about it.
You will not find her until it is too late.
Your exploits have gained quite the following in the intelligence community. Many top members of SI7 have been earnestly watching you infiltrate the Deadmines through their own Stormwind communicators. Matthias Shaw wants to speak with you. I'll transfer you momentarily. Hello, Galota. I've heard a great deal about you. Listen closely. You're only going to have one solid shot at this. The new Defias Kingpin must be in the hut, orchestrating the entire operation. I want you to go inside and take her down, for the sake of hundreds of innocent people that the organization her father started has killed and terrorized. Do none of you remember what started the Defias? No? Okay, cool. Anyways. Oh no, it's Cookie! Go steal all the rotten food. Yum, yum, yum. Oh yeah, bring it on. Oh yeah, let's get those stacks going. More rotten food. Being back at school all over again. More. More. Look, this cauldron doesn't like me very much, apparently. Aw. Oh well. And defeated. Yeah, I got 9 stacks of this stupid dot, and it's, oh, whatever.
Well met.
You may very well have saved all of Stormwind. Oh my god, no I didn't.
Light bless you.
The false kingdom has fallen thanks to your adventurers. Vanessa Van Cleef is still out there, in the heroic dungeon. Thankfully, without this base, she's largely powerless against the might of the Alliance. I'll be sure to keep an eye on things as we begin cleaning the Deadmines out. Hopefully we can begin using it as a famous gold mine it once was. As for the Kingpin's fate... Ready for it? Ready for it? Ready for it? I guess that's the way... the cookie crumbles. Okay. Moving on. So Huthor brings up an interesting and honestly unique negative. It is the only time in the entire game where we have this kind of a situation, this exact type of situation. This story arc doesn't conclude until you do the heroic version of this dungeon. Essentially for no reason. Obviously, that doesn't really apply anymore in the same way. But what that does mean is that there is a certain aspect of story that is abandoned. In other words, it's past the normal abandonment problem because there's an entire major and relevant event, which is even referenced in Legion, by the way, which is gone. So how do we feel about that? Apparently the Human Heritage quest also touches on it. I haven't seen the Heritage stuff yet. With luck, we'll be doing Zul'Gurub soon. There is no viable way to do heroics other than just going back and one-shotting everything. And for all intents and purposes, that qualifies as abandonment, as we've already discussed. It's the same thing with raids. Sure, I can go do Dragon Soul. It is possible. Should be like right here, I want to say. Yep, there it is. Gonna park this character here, no reason. Thank you again for joining me for those. Yeah, exactly, Mr. Red. Thank you, I touch buttons. Speaking of Stranglethorn, let me finish jotting down some thoughts really quick here. Axe came up with it, not gonna lie. And here, I actually, while I'm writing this down. I mean, the suits don't really do anything the more you think about it, Uthor. It's like, you know, imagine there's this great architect who builds an amazing cathedral, and the whole time he had a mosquito sitting on him, just sucking him dry. You don't really give the mosquito credit, right? For making the cathedral. Oh, he's got a helmet on. Oh, god damn it, hang on. Button. Oh god, my bars are wrong. My bars are wrong. Ah!
Many deals for a friend of the Grummles. He'll like you.
There we go. Sorry, it was very important.
Farewell, friend of the Grummle.
I just wanted you to see what lobotomy really looks like. Get it? Because I'm gonna stop there. Uh-uh. Look, guys, you can disagree all you want to, but if you could stop nuh-uh-uh-ing in chat, that would be great. You're just clogging chat at this point.
King's honor, friend.
Welcome to our camp, monk. You couldn't have arrived at a better time.
For the Alliance.
We are soldiers of Stormwind and rebels from Curzon's compound. Which, again, all the way back in vanilla, was just straight up a wholesale reference to Apocalypse Now. We were under the command of Colonel Curzon until he and those close to him started their descent into madness. We rebelled, set up camp here, and stood against Curzon. Now my sources tell me he's disappeared. I trust my source, but it would help to hear from a third party.
Go with honor, friend. Greetings.
I do most of the cooking at the camp. It used to be a lot of work till I bought a mechanical cooking pot from a goblin merchant. This pot's a wonder. It saved me countless hours till it broke. Can you take the pot back to the goblin so he could fix it? Yeah, sure.
Be careful.
It's actually a vector quest.
You need something?
I have a feeling Curzon's medicine men are distributing more than just medicine. Curzon needs some way to quelch insubordination, and an elixir under the guise of medicine would be the perfect way to do that. Oh my god, guys, no, that's not... Please don't be an anti-vaxxer.
Safe travels.
We've got enough problems with that as is. Class I'm playing all of a sudden. Trolls, they got their own things going on, okay? They're busy. Oh my god. Alright, what do we got here? Do not disseminate. Let's see. Chief Anders leads the commandos and jungle fighters responsible for maintaining militia and protecting from rebel attacks. Leads the medicine men and head shrinkers, responsible for medical corps and maintaining peace with nearby blood scalps and skull splitters. Chief Miranda. Curzon Shadow Ops, responsible for maintaining bluestone cache and research into its further uses. Chief Esquivel. Interim chief after the death of Colonel Curzon, responsible for overseeing all operations of the expedition. I just had a really horrible thought. You remember the story arc? Oh god, what is that from originally? It's an old story. It's like, you know, I think it's British specifically. People are like, oh my god, we found this ancient land. And there's this incredible, bounteous, magical thing here, and it was all a lie. Oh no. Help me out. What's that from? I know I'm being really vague. Treasure Island. I guess that would qualify. The reason I bring it up is because I just had the very random thought. Which immediately made me think of an episode of Star Trek TOS, which is a really bad episode of TOS, which I can't think of the name of. God, I can't think of anything today. Oh my god. Not now. I'm kind of busy looking stuff up. Oh god. Oh god. Yep. Okay. Death. Omega Glory. That's it. It was worth it. It was worth it to look at. Oh my god. I have flying here. Why do I have flying here? Like, we didn't have flying in Red Ridge. There might just right over there. I guess I have been proven wrong. It is not per zone, otherwise it would be all of Cata. Or let's say all of the Eastern Kingdoms. Okay, whatever. I'm just gonna let that one go. Prison records. Burn Burquell. Disobedience and disorderly conduct. Punishment, 50 years incarceration. Emmer Junis. Punishment specifically ordered by Colonel Curzon. Incarceration, 75 years. Obsborn Obnauticus. Crimes, madness. Punishment, incarceration, 130 years. Bookstone Herod. Crime. Consorting with rebels. Punishment, death by hanging. Colonel Conrad Curzon. Crime, weakness. Punishment, flung from tower. Wow. Excuse me. Had an adorable niece come down, demanding to play the kitty game. I am now very sad, though, because, well, they were already playing games. So she just wanted to play a game with her uncle. See you around, J. Palmer. Well, looking through this soldier's possessions... Oh my god. I just realized for the second time in a row I'm going to get this pet on a frickin' monk. You look down to see a newborn hatchling raptor staring up at you. Right there. Was it following this Curzon militiaman the whole time? You can see it studying you and learning your features and following your movements. The last tail hatchling has formed a bond with you. Perhaps someone back at the camp will know what to do with a raptor hatchling. Strange, but okay.
Well met.
What were we able to find?
Light bless you.
They killed him. All this time I thought he had them underneath an iron boot heel.
For the Alliance.
Curzon's death is a relief, but what's more interesting and perhaps more immediate is the sign of some potential allies in the compound. don't care what it says in the prison record. I know exactly what those three were locked up for. Refusal to follow orders. They must have been spared the madness, much like my fellow rebels here. Find them and send them back here.
Careful.
Okay.
Can I help you?
Yeah, the little one seems to have taken a liking to you. You're lucky. At this age, raptors are calm, peaceful, and easily trained. Keep her. She may come in handy. In fact, looks like she's hungry. If you're going to keep her, why don't you find something for her to eat? The last shall often find the basilisks of Stranglethorn, which can be found to the east beyond Curzon's compound. She probably isn't strong enough to hunt on her own yet, but I'm sure she'll eat freshly killed basilisk meat.
For the Alliance.
Or basilisk, if you prefer.
How are you?
I'm a bit of an alchemist in my spare time, you know.
See you around.
Well done. Let's see if they've got this elixir of theirs.
Safe travels.
This is just basilisk blood. No, it's mostly basilisk blood. They've added something to it, though. We'll need a control sample. Go get more basilisk blood.
See you later.
Okay, God. Everyone wants me to kill basilisks. Or basilisks, if you prefer. Tree. It's okay, it's fine, it's fine, everything's fine, everything's fine. Damn. Be free. Thank you. I don't know how much longer we would have survived. The cage was stifling my magic. If you don't mind, I'm going to teleport us back to the rebel camp. How would... Okay. Hi, Dr. Winter. Tree. Eat up, little guy. Whoa, okay. Oh my gosh. Well, take your fill then, buddy. Whatever makes you happy. God, we're so close, Bregman. We're so close to being done with all the older stuff, like forever. Yeah, Stranglethorn Vale, Swamp of Sorrows, Blasted Lands, and Burning Steppes. After that, we're done with the southern reaches. Then we're going to get on our gnome. Jesus Christ, that guy's hungry. Then we're going to do Dunmarog, Loch Madon, Wetlands, Badlands. Where? We're talking about? And Searing Gorge. And Searing Gorge is it. That's the finish line. Hey Valvidrix, you may or may not be amused to find out that Red Rage ended up scoring the second highest of any gameplay score we've given his own so far. No, we haven't done Ubris or Lobris yet. Ubris will wait until Warlords because, duh. Lobris will do as soon as we do the Burning Steppe. For reasons that'll be more apparent when we get there, I think. Lobris, to my knowledge, is completely unchanged other than being segregated, so, like... That's another one of those basically a vanilla dungeon situations. We'll see that with Sunken Temple pretty soon, too. The next dungeon we're doing will be a fairly revamped dungeon. That'll be Zul'Gurub. That actually is a Kata dungeon. It's right over there, in fact. God, this little guy's hungry, isn't he? Let's see. What kind of dungeons are up north? We're going to have Oldemon, old Oldemon, which is actually still there. That's basically a vanilla dungeon. Nomergon. We'll do that right out the gate. As part of the Doom Rogue experience. Really? Actually, let me think about that. So we're going to do Nomergon. I guess that's it. Nomergon, Uldamon, and then BRD. And BRD will segue nicely into Blackrock Caverns. While we're there, we'll probably do the Blackrock Depth. Or Descent, I forget which one it is. Nomergon got one of those kind of Kata updates. It's still mostly a vanilla dungeon, though. It's kind of like Sunken Temple.
Greetings.
Thank you. It looks like my suspicions were correct. The 3 prisoners seemed to have escaped the affliction that gripped Curzon and the rest of his men. Before you arrived, Emerine teleported them over to Stormwind to get them cleaned up after their ordeal. They promised to return soon.
Go with honor, friend.
Now that our allies have been evacuated, it's time to run a final raid on Curzon's compound. They'll never be weaker than they are right now, and with your help, we may be able to weaken them beyond repair. Those 4 names on the dossier will be the highest-ranking personnel remaining. Search for them, kill them.
Light bless you.
End this reference once and for all.
Hey there. Have a good one. See you around.
Alright, we'll just add this in here. Tinker, 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 tinker. So I do this centrifugate. Centrifugate. Bingo.
Good day to you.
After reducing the basilisk blood out of the elixir, I've uncovered an unusual precipitate. It appears to be a blue crystal of some sort. It's not a singing blue crystal. It's not a pulsing blue shard. It's not a piece of mind's eye. This is something we haven't seen before. If someone's seen more of this, I want it. Check the high-ranking Curzon troops in the back of the cave.
Safe travels.
Greetings.
She looks bigger already. You can see these raptors grow quickly. You're lucky to have found such a strong companion.
See you around.
On a somewhat unrelated note, I've put together a collection of troll stories and legends for a personal project. I was just thinking you might be able to help me with some of them. The Blood Scalps maintain a large tablet documenting some of their stories. Of course, I'll reimburse you if you bring them back to me. Look, as long as you don't want me to get their ears, we're good. Both of these guys are still dropping linen, by the way. The loot tables are hysterical. So any of the major races never bungled up something with Fel and just stayed clean. I suppose by definition, the dwarves have never really been Fel dwarves, have they? Like, I don't recall any particularly notable Fel dwarves, but you can make a dwarf warlock. So maybe I'm wrong. So let's skip over that. Let's assume anybody who has any warlocks is a no. Which actually discounts every major race, because every major race can roll a warlock. So I guess that's my answer to you. Yeah, let's focus on culture, like Bragwin here. Has Bragwin ever been a warlock before? She says she is, in fact, a warlock, and something about the Legion will destroy me? Bragwin, why are your eyes glowing? So obviously humans have screwed up Fel many, many times. had to come up with an entire form of defense mechanism because of humans screwing up Fel. Lightforged Warlock. I mean... dwarves, all joking aside, I'm not sure the dwarves have any cultural, like, Fel interactions going on through their race. The gnomes have dipped into it several times, almost always for comedy, but almost always for their detriment. So I'm going to say the gnomes don't qualify. Night elves obviously have dipped into Fel many times. Let's see, what else? Draenei, end statement on that one. My Curzon's sword. You're gonna need more than that, buddy. Worgen, also known as Gilneans. There's the one quest chain in the Blasted Lands, which I'm not sure even counts. Listen, Cashel. Why are your eyes glowing, Cashel? God, a dwarf being tricked into doing Fel for a beer. That actually sounds like an awesome story arc. Ugh, excuse me, I don't think the Worgen really have... Excuse me, the Gilneans really have any substantial history with it. So I'm going to say probably nothing for the Gilneans. Did I miss a guy? I did miss a guy. Yeah, Pandarans are obvious. In fact, it's kind of funny a Pandaran can even roll a Warlock, to be quite honest with you. So, Pandarans, Dwarves, Gilneans. Let's switch over to the other side. So, obviously, Orcs have plenty of issues with Warlocks. Culturally. Goblins, I don't think they have any real historical problems with Warlocks now that I think about it. Pause for a second to heal. Gul'dan, more like Gul'don't. For God's sakes. Okay, fine. You all get to die now. I was gonna let you yahoos live. Now you're dead. Enjoy this. Alright, I'm gonna loot you. You're not worth my time. Goblins I don't think have any real Fel connections, so we can add goblins to the list. We literally have more shaman goblins than we do warlock goblins. Tauren aren't really warlocky. No real Fel history there. Oh, that's actually a good point. I forgot about the Fel totem. Never mind. Never mind. If we're counting the Fel totem, which we should, we'll go ahead and add Tauren to the list. What the hell? Where did you come from?
I was stealthing right here the whole time. I wanted to make sure I died last.
Let's see, trolls. I don't think trolls really dip into Fel all that much, so trolls are fine. Then again, considering the long and storied history of trolls, there's probably some Fel problems somewhere in their history. I mean, come on, right?
How are you?
The stone seems to breathe out a string of incomprehensible syllables.
See you later.
I knew they'd have more of this substance. I'm going to send this to my contacts in Fort Livingston. Hopefully they'll have more luck with it.
Have a good one.
Alright.
Need help?
Marvelously executed. My men and I can handle the rest. With Curzon out of the picture, we may be able to continue our original expedition, which was, no matter. Please feel free to peruse the armor stores. You might find something that fits you. Sure.
Be careful.
Good day to you.
I arrived in Stranglethorn to study a feature known as the Altar of Nias, but I made the unfortunate choice of denying Colonel Curzon's advances, which earned me several years in that cage. Okay. Now that I'm out, I figure I might as well continue with my original studies. The altar is on an island to the west. Gather some of the bracers. Oh, and use this device when you're finished. No need to walk all the way back here.
See you later.
Talk to me.
I never got to thank you properly for saving me. I'm still a little fatigued from my captivity, so I thought you might want to help me with my studies. As a shaman of the Wild Hammer clan, I'm very interested in the shamanistic practices of the Blood Scalp. Their magic seems to have diverged in an interesting direction. If I had one of their totems, I could begin my studies.
Be good.
Okay, sure, why not? Let's see. Then we have... I already said goblins. Orcs turn. Undead. I mean, undead are humans. Lord Aran, warlocks. Yeah, no. Moving on. Let's see. Where did I leave? I guess all the allied races. Nightborn? Nah, the Nightborn I've never messed with, fell.
Talk to me.
Hey, you need something?
Hurry back.
Oh, it's Krezzik's crockpot. Genius piece of work. They can break a spring or throw a gear now and then. Yeah, let's see what's wrong with this one. Steam charge is rusted out. Has a cracked knuckle gasket and its fobulator's even missing teeth. I'm surprised the pot could boil a turnip. Can I fix it? Of course I can fix it. But there's a price. Oh, there's always a price.
Glad I could help.
When I repair the pot, I'm going to need some reagents. And to get them, you're going to have to do an easy little bit of killing. I hope you don't mind. Those dastardly venture company geologists have been collecting some tumbled crystals that'll suffice what I need. I don't care what you do to get them.
Keep it real.
Evil laughter.
Yo!
Finest leathercrafter of the South Seas in the world old and new. That's what they call me. Me, Drizzlick, finest leathercrafter. Well, my leather goods are known far and wide as the most exquisite, a connoisseur's choice. I just received an order from Director Riddlevox of the Tinkers Union for a dozen of my favorite Excelsior lamb boots. Our best sellers, actually. Start on the basic shape, I'll need crocodile skins.
Keep it real.
Okay. Where's, what's with all the hired guns here, Nessingwary? Jeez.
Great to meet you.
Welcome to Stranglethorn. Perhaps you're not aware of this, but the dwarf over there is the son of Hemet Nessingwary, renowned hero of the Alliance. I don't think I'd go that far. Like his father, he's not one for welcoming strangers, but you look like you've seen a bit of action in your day. Go speak to him. He's a chip off the old block.
Watch your back.
Hello, Hemet Nessingwary Jr.
Hi.
Jolly to make your acquaintance. Haven't seen a monk around these parts in some time. I've only one purpose in being here, to hunt a great and elusive beast. Seeing that you're a hero of sorts, I'm willing to let you take part in the hunt, but first you must approve yourself. I shall teach the ways of raptor hunting you. Ajak will teach you. Oh yeah, I get it. I know how these questions go.
Off with you.
So, kill enemies of a specific type.
Need help? Be careful.
Kill 10 enemies of a specific
You got
type.
my attention.
1 page. I only need 1 more page. Oh, Master Nessingwary's novel ran into a bit of an accident. He shoots an accusing glance at the monkey, and misplaced some of the pages. I've been asking your fellow adventurers to look for the missing pages, and they've been quite helpful, but 1 page still eludes me. Fine.
Safe travels.
Look at page 14. God.
What can I do for you? Go with honor, friend.
You know, I've been thinking about these Nessingwary type quests. I was just thinking to myself, how do you improve them? Because their pointed purpose has always been just experience dumps, right? That's what they were in Vanilla, in BC, and in Wrath. Here, kill a whole bunch of mobs and potentially get rewarded for it. Like it's like, do the hunting you're already going to do and get bonus rewards for it. Then I realized that's exactly what they started doing in Warlords. I think it was Warlords, with the bonus activity concept. So, like, maybe that's how you improve it? Make it so that rather than having a bundle of quests, there's just bonus activities all over the place, where Nessingmare's like, alright, while you're in the area, go kill a bunch of these things, and I'll give you some bonus stuff for it. I don't know, what do you guys think? I didn't even mention Pandaria, which actually does some interesting stuff with the Nessingmare chain. But then again, it also steps away from being just a kill X of Y chain very quickly. I will actually go on record as saying that I think world quests are fundamentally better than dailies. Now, there's two reasons for that. One is the nature of the cycle. As stupid as this probably sounds, one of the biggest problems with daily quests is having to do them every day. And note the way I phrase that. You feel like you've lost progress if you don't do a daily quest every day, so it kind of becomes an additional slog on part of just whatever's going on in your real life at the time, right? Like, I have to log in to do my... I can't remember what they're called. The Vale of the Eternal Blossoms daily rep chain, which was the one that really broke me at dailies in this game. Excuse me. And yeah, you could fall behind, you could run out of materials if you were trying to push a specific crafting mat, or a crafting profession, or you don't have the right gear, or you don't have the right anything. Oh, that's another thing. I will complain about this when we get to Pandaria, but one of the things that I hate about Pandaria was they would randomly pick which dailies you got in a given day. You might think, that sounds like a good thing. No. Because the problem there is they were random, with no bad luck protection. In other words, you would get the same damn dailies over and over and over again. And that got old. Exactly, I touch buttons. So random with bad luck protection, or just straight up doing a rotation, probably would have been better. It's also worth noting, Pandaria is the most daily-centric expansion we've ever had. It was the first time you would actually fill up your quest log. Fully fill up your quest log with just dailies and still not have enough room to do all of them. That was at launch, obviously. I've been thinking about that, Uthor. Because it only really happens once, but that one time is pretty bad. Or is it? We'll talk about it when we get there. For real, it is a topic of discussion. Because 5.1 is kind of unique when it comes to story rep interactions. Now, a much more horrible example of that would be Suramar. Suramar was pretty bad about rep locking story. And when I say story, I mean MSQ. Here there. And yeah, then there's the Covenant rank thing, and then there was the thing in Dragonflight. We'll get there, we'll get there. Anyways, point being. So, the first and most important thing they did to improve world quests over dailies was the 3-day rotation system. World quests show up, they're there for 3 days, then they go away. Now, there were several additional adjoining pieces that had to be in place to make this work. They had to adjust the relative reward of the world quests. They had to address what type of world quests would show up, and what kind of things they would, like which faction they would give rep for, or which type of resource they would give, blah, blah, blah. But after all the polishing was done, the net result was you could log in once every 3 days to do your daily grind, rather than once every day. If you felt like it, you could just log in every 3 days, mash everything out, and be good with it. You could also log in and do 1 or 2, and then do the others on the next day or the next day, and you wouldn't lose out on any progress. All of that was a good system, to be very clear. Adding that additional gradient got rid of some of the grind mentality, but also got rid of some of the screw you because you have a real life problem that dailies had. The second reason I think world quests are better than dailies is actually banal, but it needs to be mentioned for the sake of completion. World quests are more modern than daily quests, and as a consequence, tend to have better quest design. It's not always true, but there are some really well-designed world quests. Logically speaking, if dailies were still a thing, they'd probably still be really good too. Or rather, would have become really good. I love having to kill 10 of a stealth mob. What am I in combat with? Okay. Oh, it's... I mean, making world quest dailies would be a really terrible decision, in my honest opinion. A fairly substantial step back in game design. I guess we can talk about 5.1 now. I got nothing else to talk about. Ah, Stranglethorn. What MMO started the concept of dailies? Lotro. As usual. For those of you not familiar with Lotro, Lotro is the originator of most MMO concepts. That's not a joke. Maybe most is exaggerating, but a lot of modern MMO concepts all tied back to Lotro. Lotro almost always was the first implementer of those concepts, and as a direct consequence, their implementation almost always sucked.
Hey, how you doing?
My equipment's all ready to go. I just need those skins. We don't want to keep Riddlevox waiting, that's for sure. Not a good idea to keep anyone of the chief inventor from the Tinkers Union unsatisfied.
Be good.
Skins will do. Their quality isn't too important, given they'll be making up the inside layer. But it's still important they're comfortable. But if they're too rigid, I'll use some tiger blood to soften them up. Tricks of the trade, you know?
Have a good one.
I got the basic shape of the boots worked out, and they're coming along fine, but the skins you brought aren't quite going to be enough for the inner layers. What are we going to do, Drizzle? Well, no doubt that's the question on your lips. Isn't it lucky for you you're talking to Drizzle, because he's going to tell you what we're going to do. The inner layers will never be seen, so we'll just get some thicker, cheaper skins.
Keep it real. How are ya?
Have you found it? I had to return with an almost finished book.
Watch your back.
Oh, you saved me a heap of trouble. Can't thank you enough. I'll leave a copy of the book right here if you want to read it. No, I'm good, thanks. I've had my fill of the green hills of Stranglethorn. Sufficient to last me a lifetime. Let's see. What was I diving towards? Let's grab... Actually, I'm kind of torn now. Okay. When did Wildstar come out? It came out relatively recently amongst us. Like, it was already the golden era of MMOs when Wildstar came out, wasn't it? I asked. I'm just gonna double check. Let's see. Wildstar came out in... Oh yeah, 2014. Much more recent. For a bit of perspective, Lotro came out in 2007. Sorry, I'm trying to lock down which expansion it was. Give me a second. I'm looking up timing here. Nope, I was right. It was Burning Crusade. So I remember, I haven't actually told this story before. When Lotro came out, me and my friends were pretty... So, okay. WoW Vanilla came out. Yay! And then everyone quit, eventually. And then WoW BC came out, I was like, oh my god, they actually did stuff to make it a good game. Holy crap. It's crazy. Druids can actually do stuff now. Oh my god, could you believe it? So, you know, I dragged several of my friends back to BC, and that was fun. But we ran into a wall relatively quickly there on the raiding scene. Yeah, Moodkid's viable. It's wild. So our friend Gary, who has actually been on the cameras a few times and is an awesome dude in general, he was like, why don't we just skip the rush? Why don't we pause WoW for a while? Let's go play Lotro. And so Gary was actually the original one to drag us over into Lotro. Specifically as a, let's play something other than WoW kind of an approach. That was an interesting experience, because Gary gave up on Lotro almost immediately. But Pax and I stuck with it for quite a while. I mean, off and on, obviously. Oh my god, vanilla drop rates. I need 5 of these stupid things. I'm not catching the acronym. What's FGO? Like, I keep searching my memory, but I'm not coming up with anything. Fate go? What's Fate go? Fate Grand Order? What's Fate Grand Order? That at least sounds familiar. I think I've heard of that before. Got it. Some gacha game. I will admit I don't know most of those. In fact, if you pull up the list of the best-selling mobile games right now, there's a non-zero chance you won't recognize most of them. Maybe I shouldn't say that. when I pull up the list, I don't recognize most of them. Let me phrase it that way. There we go. I mean, that's how it works, right? Once you have your player base hooked, it doesn't matter what you do with your actual game. The whole goal of a proper gacha market is to get enough people completely addicted to the game to the point where they will never consider playing anything else and they'll never consider leaving your game. That's not me trying to be cynical or dismissive, that's just fact. It's kind of the inverse, right? Like a lot of people have this idea of trying to ensure customer loyalty by doing things to keep the customers happy. Even if those things don't actually generate direct money, they keep repeat customers, and therefore they do actually generate money. Some people try to addict people to their products, mandate that they have to use them, thereby ensuring they have more money because they have to keep playing. Okay, so here we go. Best-selling mobile games. Okay, you ready? Okay, this is actually not the best-selling mobile game. Sorry. This is not the list I wanted. Hang on. There we go. Okay. So, best-selling mobile game of all time. Anyone want to guess before I tell you? I'll give you a hint. It's by Tencent. And other than that sweet CCP money, it's probably one of the reasons Tencent is able to have the reach and scope that it does. That's right, it's Honor of Kings. Which, as of last reporting, which I don't have a timestamp for you, so whatever. 2020, there we go. So as of 2020, so this is actually pretty out of date, has made about $18.6 billion. Now, I don't know exact numbers, but I bet you if I looked up right now the total sales generated by the NES, the SNES, the N64, and we'll say the PlayStation 1, maybe also the PlayStation 2, it probably still would not be that much money. $18 billion is stupid. What a goddamn waste. Number 2 is Candy Crush Saga. You've probably heard of that one. Yeah, no, the mobile market is a gigantic, cancerous mass. It is so huge and lumbering, it has negative impact on basically every other aspect of... I'd go so far as to say human society, really. Like, it is just too large and too bloated, and has an impact on so many other different industries. But I'm getting off topic. The number 2 slot, at a mere $12 billion, is Candy Crush Saga. Also known as the reason Microsoft wanted to buy Activision Blizzard. No, really. I mean, don't mistake me. Phil Spencer probably wanted Activision and Blizzard, and several people wanted to go into the Call of Duty thing, but let's be clear. The reason the suits agreed on that purchase was because of Candy Crush. And King in general, really. Number 3 is PUBG Mobile. What is there to spend money on in PUBG? Skins. How... Anyways, that's also Tencent, by the way. Number 4 is something called Monster Strike. I'm starting to get to the stuff I don't recognize here. Clash of Clans, I have heard. That's Tencent, by the way. And the number 6 slot is Pokemon Go for Lord Harrimont. By the way, we're down to the point of only having made $9 billion. Then there's something called Puzzle and Dragons. Then there's Fate Grand Order at the number 8 slot. $7 billion. Genshin Impact, that makes me sad. I actually recognize that. Roblox, that's not surprising. Fantasy Westward Journey, Gardenscapes, Lineage Mobile, Coin Mastered, Garanera Free Fire, Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle, Three Kingdom Tactics, Slotomania, Game of War Fire Age. I haven't heard of, like, almost all of these. Candy Crush Soda Saga, Lords Mobile, Clash Royale, Rise of Kingdoms, Call of Duty Mobile. There's a mobile Call of Duty game. Royal Match, Monopoly Go, Disney Tsum Tsum, Pro Baseball Spirits A, Knives Out, Uma Musume Pretty Derby, Homescapes, Lineage 2, just Lineage 2, Township, Bingo Bits, Heyday. All of these are in the billions range, by the way. Every single one of these has made over $1 billion. Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, Vomit, Fortnite on mobile, AFK Arena, Toon Blast, Brawl Stars. Let's see, is there any Yu-Gi-Oh in here? Oh, hang on. I saw it, but I spelled it wrong. Yug. How do you spell Yu-Gi-Oh? There it is. Yu-Gi-Oh! Dual Links at 500 million. No, that's actually not how you spell Yu-Gi-Oh! It's Y-U-G for future reference. Yeah, they've only made $500 million. Raid Shadow Legends is actually at the billion marker. It's pretty far down the list, which is really pathetic when you think about it. Ugh. I'm sorry, I'm looking at all this. Is it just me? Am I the only one, like, fundamentally bothered by looking at these numbers? Like, I don't like to bandy about words like waste of money, but this is like someone burning a gigantic pile of food right next to a bunch of starving homeless people. Oh, I know. To be very clear, while I do blame the companies for being predatory and manipulative, and I do, at the end of the day, if I'm being 100% honest with myself, most of my ire goes out to the people who pay thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars on that. You want to spend $5 on something because you like a skin? Go for it. But the moment you're spending more money on a mobile game than you are on your house payment, maybe rethink your life. Maybe the problem is you. That was interesting. Oh, there's another one. There it goes. Oh, those are some interesting lag spikes. I know several people who spend money on mobile games, but it's of such a minuscule amount that even when you do like that whole yearly wrap-up, how much money do I spend a year thing, it's like $20. $20 a year in a mobile game? Sure. Whatever. I just realized we're still doing these X of Y quests. I don't even have $2 million. I have never in my life had $2 million. Where do these people even come up with this money? That's the other thing that weirds me out. Like, I can't afford a house. I can't afford an apartment. And these people are finding some way to dump thousands or millions of dollars. Always with the caps lock. Oh, hello. Your favorite pet raptor seems to have found a new toy. A skull from a nearby troll skull pile. What sets this skull apart from the rest is beyond you, but for some reason she won't put it down. Okay. Let's figure out what's going on with that. Yeah, sorry, I came out of the wrong vagina. My bad. Yeah. And nowadays, thanks to, the communication era, the only thing you need for a good scam is wide enough reach. It doesn't matter if 9,999 people ignore your email. If one person clicks that link, you have made money. Ironically, that's pretty much the exact same format that most mobile games use. They try to have as far and spread reach as they possibly can to get as many players as possible, because they know that the overwhelming majority of those players will not spend money on their game. What is this lag? Like, to be clear, I do think that it's too far to go the other way with the same general philosophy. There was a German, I think? No, I'm wrong. That was a Eastern European. Anyway, there's some philosopher guy who said that everyone in the world is immoral because if you spend any money or time or interest on anything that isn't helping other people, then that is a waste, and you should devote yourself to that. Now, that's nonsense, to be very clear. But there is something kind of in between that level of extreme, And I'm going to blow $1 million or $100,000 on a mobile game. I wouldn't blow $100,000 on WoW. And WoW is probably the best game ever made, pound for pound. Assuming I even had it. If I had $1 billion, if I had screw you money, I still wouldn't spend $100,000 on WoW. Because that's stupid. Because there is no such thing as a video game that is worth thousands and thousands of dollars. It is not a valid metric. It's like buying a candy bar for thousands of dollars. It doesn't matter how good the candy bar is. It doesn't matter how much you enjoy it for the few seconds that you enjoy it. It's a candy bar. It's not worth thousands of dollars. Sorry. Rant off. What is worth thousands of dollars is the Lore Runner. Give him all your money, please. For the love of God, do not give me. Do not give me any money. I know, Valerian, I know. But yeah, Blue Fusion Volt hit the nail on the head there. Just because you can afford it doesn't make it worthwhile. A lot of people do not understand that those two things are two separate metrics. You know what? I bet you're right, Magister. Wow, she's right here now. Actually, pay attention to this fight a little bit. I think we're actually almost done with most of Northern Stranglethorn. Which is good, because this is pretty boring. This is like Elwyn. Polished up from vanilla, but otherwise just mostly the same stuff again. Move around some of the mobs. Reduce some of the respawn time. Increase the drop rates. But otherwise, just, yep. Kill this or loot this. Let's see, we haven't talked about Star Trek today. Star Trek sucks! Okay, okay. That was my test to see if Uthor was here. Star Wars sucks. There we go. Gotta get that one out there, too. Now, see, the problem is, people let those kind of criticisms bounce off them. You gotta say something insulting, right? You gotta say, I mean, Star Wars is okay if you're into baby movies. Or, oh, I wouldn't think you're into something like that. Like, I mean, if you want to like Star Wars, that's, I mean, I guess it's okay. I remember Dakota. It was an argument he did not win. Okay, now the next raptors. Yep. Oh, we're up to the raptor boss already. Nice. Let's go kill the raptor boss. I actually once found an entire Reddit thread that was just ways to compare the difference between 1 million and 1 billion. It's one thing to say that 1 billion is 1,000 million. There's a lot of other ways to really emphasize it. A lot of them are kind of neat. It's all just math. See you around, Kennex Cow. Have a good day at work. Okay, I probably should have used cooldowns here. See if I can find that thread again. I'm just mindlessly killing mobs for Nessigmari. I'm depopulating the local people here. Alright, here we go. What do we got? What do we got? Whoop, whoop, whoop. Nope, 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 nope. Okay, so you just used a time one with minutes. Let's use seconds. 1 million seconds is about 12 days. Okay. 1 billion seconds is 23 years. Let's restructure this a little bit. I I want you to imagine for just a second that you suddenly start making $10,000 a day. Now, that's a lot of frickin' money, right? Like, I want you in chat really quick to just really process what it would be like to suddenly have a job that gives you $10,000 a day. 7 days a week, by the way. I would not mind making that kind of money. I'm not gonna lie to you. $10,000 a day would give you $3.65 million a year. Now, that's a lot of money too, but the point I'm actually trying to make is how small that number is. Making 10 grand a day, 7 days a week, is only $3.5 million a year. Yeah. I've also noticed, although I don't think this is a new problem, I think this is just a human problem, is that most people do not have economic education, period. I don't mean just regards to, like, the big stuff that, you know, is affecting our global society. I mean, like, literally most people don't know how to manage money at any level, right? I do firmly blame both parents and schools for that, since neither do any effort to do either. But anyways, let's see. What else we got here? Here's another one. Here's another fun one. Let's say that I've decided to give you $1 million a day. It would take you over 3 years of that to finally equal up to $1 billion. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, I'm double checking some of these. Looks like they don't have a bunch of the other things here. Nah. Oh, there's one. Friggin' stealth mobs, am I right? There we go. Now, go kill the named you already found. Oh god, the paid out over time scam. I have no proof of this whatsoever, but I've often thought that the scare tactics, the scare... Oh, what do I call that? Okay. You ever heard of common knowledge? Okay, now, you ever heard of common knowledge that's actually wrong, but everyone keeps repeating because it's common knowledge? I've often believed that the common knowledge that you should never take the lump sum for lottery is deliberate misinformation. Like, you hear all kinds of horror stories, right? Oh my god, all those people have completely ruined their lives forever because they were at lottery things. Yeah, that's such a minority. You hear about those stories because, well, they're more interesting stories than some guy hired a finance planner and then invested everything from the lottery. That's not much of a story. Which is what normally happens, by the way. There are entire investment firms whose only primary vehicle of income is catering to lottery winners. Because they don't need a lot of lottery winners to be able to run their entire business, right? And I know what you're thinking. Well, what's the benefit of that? Well, think about this. Imagine a bank who only has to manage like 5 people. They get really personal with that. There are banks out there that will actually try to bargain with you, that will give you free stuff. Like free world tours and flights and hotels and stuff like that. Just to get you to dump your money in their bank. Because they really want your lottery winnings in their bank. I don't know if it's an official term, but I've always heard those called super banks. Because you don't just dump that in your local, your regional bank. You can. Nothing's stopping you. I wouldn't. I was actually thinking about it recently. In my more depressive moments, I was trying to think what actually winning the lottery would help at this point in time. You wanted the answer I came up with? It's actually a twofer. The first and most obvious is I can help out a lot of people with that. There are lots of people I would give a fairly large chunk of money to. The second thing is wealth allows you to change which country you live in. Something I've become more and more aware of in the last, well, I'd say about 4 years at this point, is just how much most countries in the world are closing their borders. The one asterisk to that continues to be people who are rich. Now, obviously, several places have started shutting down golden visas, but there's still plenty of ways to buy your way into citizenship of another country. Ways that are not available if you do not have the backing, and backing means money. How is that like a Bitcoiner? Like, if you're gonna insult me, at least call me Hitler or something. Come on. I prefer to be called Hitler than a Bitcoiner. Yes.
Hello.
Hey, I got your water bracelets.
See you around. See you later.
I need something to cut into the raw elemental power of these bracers. Something strong and abrasive, but still of the sea. The Merkgill Murlocs have moved inland from the sea, but they carry vials of sea salt on them. What they use it for, I can't be sure, but it'll serve our studies.
See you around.
Pleased to meet you.
What do we have here? A young raptor and her human pet. More importantly, what is that skull? That was no ordinary troll. He was big. Strong, too. You know, I've been meaning to try my hand at troll magic. How hard can it be?
Off and away.
In life, he was a strong, powerful lord amongst trolls. With our help, he can be a lord once more. The Bloodscalp scavengers that wander the roads to the southwest hoard magical fetishes. They hide them under the ground. Use your hatchling to find them and bring them here.
You have a great day now.
Can I help you? See you later.
Here's your tablet. I'll be honest, I'm sending this information home to Stormwind for my wife and son. They love to hear about what I've been doing out here in the jungle, and I only get to visit so often, so every little bit helps.
For the Alliance.
Here there. Watch, get her back.
Oh, I think I can read this text. Fascinating. What are these names? Oh, they're the names of totemic creatures. The animals that they attribute to the spirits. Let's see. That's water, that's earth, that's fire. I can't make this part out. Go get more information on these spirits of theirs.
Be good.
Okay. I'm going to be honest, you're talking nonsense to me, Rockersbeard. What did I say that has anything to do with borderless, deflationary, finite currency, or anything like that?
What's on your mind?
You're talking gibberish. Let's go with that.
Off with you.
Light be with you. For the Alliance.
Can I help you? See you around.
No, we'll go with that.
Farewell.
Screw it.
Time is money, friend. Glad I could.
These will work fine. Just a moment. There we go. All fixed. Oh, hey, a new two-hander. Finally.
Keep it real.
So the plot's fixed. Even out a new steam whistle. And look, there's a new chop at the bottom that cut through leg bones.
Hurry back.
Is that a good thing?
What's up?
Drizzlix Excelsior leather boots. Finest workmanship, 100% high-quality saltwater crockless skin boots. None finer. Can't beat a glowing description like that, can you? Except maybe if you have the skins for me.
Have a good one.
Oh, yeah, they're like sausages. They look great. They taste great. Your boots are... Okay. I'll tell you, they're not filled with nothing but the finest ingredients and meats. And you eat it and you love it. I don't want to eat your boots.
Be good.
With the inside finished, all that's left is to add the outer layers. For this, I only use the best Elder Croc skins. More durable, better canvas for making the designs and accents that make our Excelsior line. Hard to find perfect skin, though. Only one that fits my plan is the skin of an Elder. Find them south near the Cape.
Have a good one.
Okay.
What can I do for you?
You're a hunter worthy of our company. From the battlefields of Lordaeron to the deepest jungles, I've rarely witnessed such prowess with weaponry as you've demonstrated. Dude, I've just been running around punching things for like half an hour. You have killed the ferocious Sindal, the elusive Bagthera, and the treacherous Tethys. The true prize is the head of Bangladesh. The white tiger is the reason I'm here. He taunts me from his roost to the south. Kill him and your hunting prowess is second to none.
Safe travels.
He's the deadliest thing in the jungle. Except for you.
King's honor, friend.
Did he fix my pot?
Light bless you.
Oh, thanks. I can get dinner started. Thanks so much. I hope he didn't give you too much trouble. No, it's fine. Oh my god, that's my first helmet. I'm level 43 and I just got my first helmet. And I look like a Dorcas. Alright, White Tiger, watch over you. Well, it does generate profit. Does that count, Uthor? Invented wealth is a good thing, right? Look, in my defense, I'm doing Stranglethorn. I need all the entertainment I can get. No, we'll get to Zul'Gurub. Well, I'm not sure when, actually. At some point we're not currently at. I was actually just thinking that, Five. Well, since I'm literally just standing here waiting for my pet to slowly pick these things up, let's go and switch over to Brew really quick, shall we? Let's empty our bars really quick here. Keep on looting, little guy. Ain't done yet. The good news, if you can call it that, is historically speaking, most of the time when things get particularly bad, there's a breaking point. People put up with a lot of stuff because we don't want to rebel, right? It's time consuming and it's irritating and it's bloody. Ugh. Then I could go die. Like I don't feel like dying. Invariably, every time in human history that things have been pushed too far, people push back. That's usually something fairly bloody and fairly unpleasant. And it usually refers to a bit of a reset. I have nothing on my bar right now here. Let's just do this really quick. Get some random abilities. Touch of Death. There we go. I'll do it during the break. Yeah, that's what I was just thinking, Five. I'll do that later. Off camera. Really? Okay, whatever. You know, Redridge spoiled me. Why is it phrase you're not going to hear me say very often? Redridge wasn't just, you know, a polishing up a new quest. Or, I'm saying this wrong. It wasn't just like a small polishing up. It changed drop rates as well as drop requirements, too. There's no such thing as a boring quest in Redridge. I think I'm reminded of why I enjoy going through it so much and why I usually beeline for it on any character that was leveling through Kata. Yeah, this zone is just... This is worse than Elwyn, frankly. At least Elwyn was touched up to the point of being a neutral. This is... what? So, let's talk about brickwork. How do we feel about the brickwork of Stranglethorn? Neck. I mean, you've been seeing it for the last... about an hour or so at this point. It is a 2004 jungle. Probably one of the best designed 2004 jungles. It's very Warcraft 3. I wouldn't be surprised if this started off as a map. Whoops, 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 whoops. Oh. On what axis, GG's? Like in what way? Undead rogues. We don't talk about undead rogues. Ever. Ever. Look, if you want to see really good troll ruins, you're going to have to go to BFA for that. It's not really a joke. BFA has some really solid visuals. I'll never gainsay that. Mobs are more like sprite work than brickwork. Why do you ask, though? Like, specifically.
Time is money, friend.
I read somewhere the Elder Crocolisk are slowly dying out. Bad news for business, huh? Anyway, you killed that Elder Crocolisk, right?
Be good.
Ah, great. Thanks to your help, I'll have this order filled and sent off to Director Rilvox with the next boat to Undermine. Undermine, huh? For all your hard work, here. I made some extra, so take a pair. It's on Drizzlick. Remember, there's no boot so fine as one of Drizzlick's Excelsior line.
Keep it real.
It's barely better than my boots.
How are ya?
Interesting, Esmira Star. I see you're back, old bloke. King Bongolish has called me to come crawling back to camp many times.
See you soon.
But you did it.
Watch your back.
You gained a level. I mean, you killed the boss. And now you have some really ugly shoulders, as if you're suddenly running around in the Burning Crusade. Oh my god, like, seriously, look at our outfit. This is just what we have equipped right now. No, that's wrong.
Come, shop, browse, smell. Good fortune.
There we go.
Of the Grummels.
That's what we have equipped right now. I don't think Neptulon blessed me, but I did have to say bless you to him. Yeah.
How are you? Have a good one.
Well, we have what we need. Are we ready to activate the altar? Sure.
Safe travels.
Okay.
See you around.
Can I help you? Alrighty then.
These will provide a bit of, oh, what's the word? Troll word? Voodoo? Juju? Declaming? Ah, it doesn't matter. If we're going to rebuild a troll, we need troll magic, and these fetishes are full of it.
Be seeing you.
Okay, soul's ready, body's not. For a skull as well-formed, as marvelous, as beautiful as this, just look at that musculature. They'll need a suitable body. The chief of the Bloodscalps won his throne with brute force. If he still lives, you'll find him in Zulkunda. Taking his body won't be easy, but nothing a sturdy monk like you can't handle.
Off and away.
Yeah, sure, I'm just gonna show up. Hey, I need your body. What you talking about, man? I need your body.
What's on your mind? Watch your back. Be good.
That... damn it.
Well met.
Oh, thank God. We don't have to get blood scalp
careful.
ears. Because this was the spot for what is, in my opinion, without hyperbole, the worst quest in all of vanilla. I'm not actually joking. This, ladies and gentlemen, was the spot of troll ears. Now they've changed this. Now it's just kill a bunch of trolls of certain types. Although you notice it still killed 28 trolls. Which is just... what? God. Me and Pax were here for so long getting these stupid troll ears. And when other players in the guild would get to the point of doing Stranglethorn Vale, Pax and I were almost invariably the ones who would come here to help mass murder trolls in order to get them their stupid troll ears. I hated Stranglethorn and Vanilla so much. Just... oh. We had an entire section of the bank, the guild, or my bank, excuse me. I say the guild bank. Guild banks didn't exist yet. It was an ad. It was an alt whose only purpose was to be a bank. You remember when you used to do that? You'd have an alt character whose only purpose is to carry items. Anyways, they just had several like bags worth of pages of Stranglethorn. Yeah, the bank alt. Exactly. For the perspective, for those of you, so I guess I could talk about this. For those of you who haven't heard me talk about this before, in my opinion, the worst quest in Vanilla was Troll Ears. It was right here. The quest was to get 30 Troll Ears. They had about a 1 in 10 drop rate. And because this was a Vanilla quest, they did not share. So, me and Pax needed 60 of these. So you just sit here, killing trolls, and killing trolls, and killing trolls. The most recent time we did this, which is probably my strongest memories of this particular quest, we didn't actually finish the quest in one go. Like, we started the quest, didn't get enough to finish it, moved on, did some other stuff, came back, you know, whenever we started playing again a few days later, and finished up the Troll Ears. It was part of a chain, too, so it was valuable to do. I wouldn't say good experience. You also definitely don't get good money off of these guys. Or at least didn't. I have to keep using past tense here, forgive me. So yeah, no, I've actually thought about this before, and I do think this is probably the worst quest in Vanilla for me. Not because it was hard or you know, irritating, but because it was incredibly boring. It's the single biggest slog I've ever experienced in WoW Vanilla. That's saying something. I can just tell Huthor's vibrating with the urge to tell me that this is his favorite quest in the game. Who challenges Nias? Puny Huma. You're a little better than those mindless trolls I have played against each other like so many pieces on a game board. Oh, I'm dead. Oh, you ripped out my heart? Huh. Didn't plan for this, gonna be honest. Shoot. Okay, let us bargain. Now that you've accomplished my first test. Yeah, I knew, Uthor. I knew you would like the quest. Because there's no such thing elsewise.
Hello. See you around.
Like, it's not possible for us to agree on something.
See you later.
Let's go and grab that.
Have a good one.
Sorry, we're not in Red Ridge.
Hi, how are you?
We've exchanged terrible story for terrible gameplay.
Be seeing you.
Oh, hang on, him.
My, you're a
Ganzula was a brute and a tyrant. I've got a feeling this troll will be different. This troll magic is easier than I thought it would be.
You have a great day.
You've done well. You have a head, a body, and some juju, voodoo, mojo, whatever nonsense. Let's get a little shock of electricity to get things started, and...
Alrighty then.
Hello. So some of you may remember this guy as being a raid boss. Human. You just resurrected your worst nightmare. You didn't think I was a friend, did you? You served your purpose. I've returned to the realm of the living, and it's all thanks to you. So instead of killing you, I'm going to make you a deal instead. Give me that raptor. You must already know she's no ordinary raptor, and I need a replacement for Orgon. Do it, or both you and the gnome would taste me rage. All I ask is the raptor. Give it to me and this gnome lives. Do something, please. I'm glad to see you come to your senses. Come visit Zul'Gurub sometime, human. I'll be watching. You?
Hey!
Thank you. I know you didn't have to save my life. The return of Bloodlord Mandakir is ill news. He was killed inside Zul'Gurub several years ago, and we thought we'd seen the last of him and his kind. The trolls of Zul'Gurub were attempting to perform a hideous, horrible ritual. If Mandakir's alive, then it stands to reason he's not the only one. Go to Fort Livingston and speak about this matter.
Be seeing you.
Uh-huh. You cost me my raptors, you. I'm gonna murder you. I just want you to know that. I'm gonna sick Huthor on you, and he's going to engage you in a debate. The cops will call it a suicide. I think I'm going to go ahead and take an early lunch. And we'll come back and finish up Stranglethorn and hopefully do Zul'Gurub. So anybody wants to join me for Zul'Gurub, that would be awesome. But otherwise, I'll see you after the lunch break.